Everybody wants to walk, do it now.
I'm your huckleberry.
I'm rich and I'm dead sexy.
Call me Snake.
Like the guy said, you're gonna eat lightning and you're gonna drop thunder. I'm just a happy camper.
Hail to the king, baby.
It's good to be the king.
All I'm offering is the truth.
Groovy.
Throw me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss.
Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
Did have shade.
Leon's getting larger.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
What do you say we cut the chit-chat? A-hole.
Butthole!
Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts, ma'am.
Shut up and never say anything again as long as you live.
Butthole!
I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now. Jack and shit. And Jack left town. All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
All right. Who wants some? Who's next?
We have that. It's as wide as it can be.
Butthole!
See this? This is my boomstick!
Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
Wah-wah-wee-wah!
Shop smart, shop S-smart. Shop smart, shop S-smart. Shop smart, shop S-smart.
Just the facts, ma'am.
He thinks I made it up.
Unbelievable.
I was thinking of the immortal words of Socrates, who said, I drank what?
Hey, how are you guys? What's happening? Welcome. Good to see you. Happy Thursday. Some of you may be confused. You're used to me being on earlier, but Thursday's family FaceTime, and that it takes precedent. Sorry. I have to push the stream because family comes first. That's how we work around here. And I know you guys can understand that, especially if you are currently living in Texas. And in all honesty, all jokes aside about Abbott and Cruz and Cornyn and all those jackholes who run the dump, my heart goes out to you guys. The ones of you that know better than to have a United States but a separate electrical grid. And that you know, of course, that the worst phrase you can't, the scariest phrase an American can hear isn't "I'm from the government and I'm here to help you." It's your taxes pay my salary. Go fuck yourself, which is obviously the Ted Cruz way of doing it. And thank you, Tony from Ireland. Bless you. Hello, Nottinghamshire, England. Hello. I'm saying hi in Irish because the people who were Irish were there first. I don't know. In the hellos. And to all my Australian friends, I appreciate you saying that I look fresh today, but I don't really. It's like saying a lot because I'm clearly not. I had to go. Look here. Hold on. I'll show you. We got the computer back. It's still obviously See all those ports that would normally be plugged in when it's in use? Not so much. Apparently the RAM is dead. That's right. Long live the RAM. The RAM is dead. We killed the RAM in the computer, everybody. Congratulations. We burned it to the ground. So I have new RAM on order. And hopefully this... no, this isn't a Mac Mini. This is a 2013 Mac Pro, which is what I do most of my editing for Sexy Liberal on, even when I'm not doing the show and, doing the regular stream. And apparently it's, that's the one I showed you guys before this is pretty sweet. You pull this thing off and there's the RAM. See that RAM right there? There's two sides of it. There's two over here, two over there. Yeah, they're dead. They're just dead. So that was what was causing it, that it literally would not cycle on at all. So she will be up and running again, in theory. She's obviously not long for this world, but hopefully we'll see. So anyways, that was the... So this morning, I get up and I, go to the gym, because I'm that kind of guy. And this is the current state of affairs. See if my shirt fits right here. This is the current physical state of affairs. The wings are coming back, which is nice. Arms are fairly solid right now, for those of you that were on watch. And the chest is returning, which is good, because, I had a little downtime because of 8 months when you couldn't go to a gym at all. And now there's a gym that my girlfriend goes to that is limited. It's only 4 people in there at a time. Why don't I have an American flag? An American flag where? I do have an American flag. I have a really nice American flag. Made in the USA even. Out of cloth. My girlfriend also has one. It's folded into a triangle because her father was in the Navy and he passed away. And so she has that flag. What are you talking about? And to everybody, by the way, to the folks that are having trouble dealing with my long hair, you don't hate me because I'm beautiful. That's yeah. But in the meantime, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty solid. But got up ass early to go do that because I had to go pick up the computer afterwards. And then I get there and it's a little bit of a wait, not much, but a little bit. And and then other stuff. Whip my hair back and forth. I will at some point. We'll do full head banging at one point. I'm not gonna lie. I actually had my first full-on headbang in, I don't know, 15 years? 10 years? How long has it been? When did I right before Lab Rats. I cut my hair the year before Lab Rats. So, thank you, Mike. The Spark shirt I ordered for T-Swing Ride today. Oh, nice. That's fantastic. Hello from Sydney, Australia. Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I it's funny because we can always tell we can always tell the Eastern European trolls by how freaked out they are about men with long hair. You know what I mean? It's like the, I don't know, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s never existed. So, but in the meantime, hey D, welcome. Look at that. And that's actually working. And the computer didn't crash. And the little tip jar is working. And I got my Venmo back up. I'm chipping away at this thing. There's obviously the thing that I don't have currently is my countdown at the beginning. So I'm going to keep that as close to 5 minutes as I can as kind of a jump start. But yeah, I will have that up and running as soon as I can trust the software to be able to do it. Because I like you guys knowing. Why don't I flag? But why don't you have flag to Mother Russia? I don't know. I guess that you guys would have to use that as your own icon. I suppose. Jeff Lynne is what I want to achieve? No. Not at all. I'm going Jeff LaBar, if anything, from Cinderella. Go look that one up. No, clearly, I mean, right now, I moved my part to the center today, just messing around. Maybe that's what people are reacting to. It is very Jesus-y when I do that. I tried to start I'm way past Rick Springfield now. Come on. Yeah. I mean, where have you guys been? We zipped past Rick Springfield friggin' July of last year. But yeah, so this stuff is starting to happen here. If I straighten it's already past the collarbone. It's a good time. And to all those who seem concerned and are like, get a haircut. Why is your hair long? A, no. B, fuck off. C, when did we go back to 1947 in terms of hair aesthetic? Seriously. I am nearly at Jennifer Aniston. It's true. All right, so let's get started. Enough about my hair, goddammit. We have a lot to talk about today. Mainly, I'll put this here and hold on. Why is it? Yeah. Mainly, this jerk off. Good God. Okay, so just in case you don't know, Ted Cruz's story is that he went down to Cancun. He flew there yesterday. His daughter. Well, here, listen to the friggin' story. I mean, we've heard some bullshit from Ted Cruz over the years.
Well, Texas is going through horrific storms.
All right. Yeah, we know. By the way, he's not in Texas right now. This video was taken in Cancun, in Mexico, on his way into the airport.
And millions of Texans have lost power, have lost heat.
I'm glad you're aware of that. Do you get points? Is there anybody in the United States that doesn't know that shit is going down in Texas? Seriously. Is that how you prove you're the senator? Many people may not realize, but it sucks. Sucks in Texas right now. There's no heat. The pipes are freezing. People have ceiling fans that have icicles on them. I'm their senator.
And have been hurt. And
have they? Yeah, some of them are so numb, they're not actually feeling pain, Ted. By the way, I notice, and we all notice, that the photos of you entering Cancun and being on the airplane, you got a bunch of these friggin', you've got a standard gray mask on. On your way back to kiss ass, he's wearing his goddamn Texas mask.
Our family was among them. We had no heat and no power. And
bullshit. But this is listen to this. This is where it gets solid.
And yesterday, my daughters asked if they could take a trip with some friends. And
hang on. Yesterday, the day they flew to Mexico. Understand what that is, because this is today. They flew there yesterday. So yesterday, they're like, Dad, can we go to Cancun? Like, yeah, I'll buy some last minute. That's okay. I went and looked. I went and searched. You know what a last minute business class flight, which is what he flew, and we're assuming that he used a mileage upgrade, I guess. But a last minute flight down there, like he took, buying it the same day for returning the next day, $1,200. $1,200. Now, the girls and their friends, so Ted left his wife in Texas, where we are led to believe by this idiot that their house lost power and lost heat, and may again, because it's going to snow again, and they're doing rolling blackouts. So let me explain. Let's see if we can understand this so far. Ted Cruz, his whole family, they lost power, they lost water. What did he say exactly? Let's jump back at this idiot.
Our family was among them. We had no heat and no power.
We had no heat and no power. We know there are continuing rolling blackouts. We know it's not over yet. So he left his wife and I guess presumably other children, the ones that didn't go to Cancun, in Texas, where they allegedly have no heat and no power, which is bullshit. But let's just go on what he's saying. Because they're definitely in. I mean, there's no way this asshole doesn't have backup generators and all kinds of shit at his senator house. Like, come on. So anyways, yesterday. What? Morning over breakfast? Dad, my girlfriends and I would really want to go to Cancun. Can you fly down there with me and my, teenage or college age girlfriends for the weekend? I mean, the creep factor on this is one thing that I don't think has been properly explored in that regard. I don't know does anybody know how old his kids are? But thank you, Ancient Pollyanna. Seriously. Okay, so story so far. Ted Cruz's family lost power and heat during the winter storm, which is ongoing and still a problem. They're having rolling blackouts. So Ted Cruz, over breakfast yesterday, presumably the heat was turned back on so they could cook it. I don't know when this happened. His kids asked him early in the morning, since we don't have school, can we go to Cancun? And he said, yeah, but only if I can go with you. They're 15, 10, and 12. Who else is with these people? Who is with these children? So the kids wanted to go. The kids aren't coming back. Did he bring them there overnight? What are you talking about? Did he drop them off? He was on, somebody's in the chat room saying he was on the radio talking about how he didn't lose power. I mean, this whole thing is bullshit. People, please. So 10 and 12. His freaking kids are 10 and 12. So he's dropping them off with friends in Mexico. His wife isn't there. Is she? Okay. All right. So he's leaving his wife and everyone else. He flew down there just to make sure that they made it through the airport okay, and then got on a plane to come back, right? That's what we're supposed to believe. He flew down there. Yeah, they all said, let's go. Heidi, the kids want to go to Cancun. When? Today. I mean, they don't have school, so let's go to another country with looser COVID rules where we'll need to... All right. I'm assuming, by the way, that he's been vaccinated, his wife's been vaccinated, and everybody around him has from those missing doses that Jared was passing around. But understand, yeah, he had the cops escort him through the airport too, so he wouldn't be accosted by people. Ugh. So he flies them down to Mexico just to see them off and turn around and come back when they're coming back on Saturday? What? Like this, I mean, this is such bullshit. It's such bullshit.
And yesterday, my daughters asked if they could take a trip with some friends. And
a trip with some friends. Just some guys they met on the internet, you know. They thought they were girls, you know, their age at the time, but we now know that they're prisoners with internet access. What do you mean with friends? So did the friends' parents fly down? Why the fuck did you have to fly down? If their parents were flying down, why didn't they go on the trip? Why didn't you just buy them? No, he went with them.
And Heidi and I agreed, so I flew down with them last night.
Heidi and I agreed, so I flew down with them last night. No mention that Heidi went. Let me guess. She flew in this morning because he was in deep shit, and now he's leaving.
I'm off here, and now I'm headed back to Texas and back.
Yeah, because that's what you do with your 10 and 12-year-old. When you're a senator, you drop them off in a country with the worst kidnapping record in North America. Who paid for this trip? He did. He's rich. He's a senator in Texas.
Back to continuing to work to try to get the power on. What's happening in Texas is unacceptable, and a lot of...
Yeah, I'm continuing to work to try and get the power on. Like we caught him actually at a power plant with his sleeves rolled up.
Texans are hurting. You mean?
Excuse me, where's the asshole line? Thank you. Is there business ass or first ass? He's definitely flying first ass. What time is your flight? 2:30. So you fly down to Cancun, and at 6 a.m. you get a 2:30 flight back. Why wouldn't he fly private? Because he'd have to use campaign dollars or something. Sorry, I want to make sure I don't miss what you're saying. Mike Engel says, you notice on the flight down to Cancun, he wore a nondescript mask, and now he's going back magically as a Texas mask on, pandering like the disease weasel he is. Exactly. I pointed that out on Twitter earlier. Like, now he's wearing, like, I'm here for Texas. You know, Jesus Christ. Guys, can you let me check in, please? No pictures. I'm checking into business class. Sorry, journalists are not allowed in the premier access line. You're going to make me lose my silver status. Do you have anything to declare? But that's the lead up. This is just the B-roll. Hi, Ted. Nice Viking mullet, you white supremacist douche. Why are you trying to ignore them, dude? They're clearly rolling B-roll of you. Dude, here's the... you guys want some advice if you ever find yourself in, like, being caught being a tremendous asshole? If they're filming you and you're like, I don't want to be filmed right now, go 100% all in on being filmed, and don't act like the footage could have been from whenever. People will attack you later about it no matter what. So just go, I think one of the premier things that we're going to have to do once we get in the Senate, of course, we're going to look at it. We've got a budgetary committee coming up, and there's an appropriations angle that I'm concerned about, and a lot of my people in my committee are concerned about. Of course, the people of Texas are concerned about. That has to do with whether or not our energy usage is and the grid is adequate. So we're going to talk about maybe having our isolated grid, but with some attachments to the national grid in case anybody, the eastern or the western grids, need a little piece of our action in the future once we get this fixed. You know what I mean? That was unfortunate. Why are you doing that to us? Number 5, can you turn to the front, please? Take your mask off and say the words, I don't give a shit if your power is out. I would end up saying, I like turtles. That'll work just as well. Yeah, anything that looks like B-roll from another instance. And the other thing, too, is have a jacket, put it on, and take it off repeatedly. And somebody might mention that you've put on a jacket and take it off, but other people will just go, I think this is from another time. Like and with all the conspiracy theory assholes that they have, cradling his nuts right now, they would all go, that's not even from this year. Rafael Cruz, if that is your real name. Guys, excuse me, guys. Hey, bottle of bom 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 bottle of bom bom. Well, you can't tell by the way I use my Montgomery. I'm a senator. No time to talk. Hey, what's going on? Nice to see you. How are you? That guy recognizes me. He doesn't recognize that I have Texas on my face. He's like, is that Ted Cruz? Damn, and I don't even have to pee right now. Hal, you travel a lot. You bring a big suitcase for a 16-hour trip. If I'm live streaming, I'd have all that shit in there. If I have to do a show, I've got a rolling suitcase. But if I'm just going, dude, I'm a machine. I could get you basically just need a shirt, a pair of underwear, and socks. So you can change your unders after you shower. You can wear the same slacks. It's jeans, for Christ's sake. When you wash your jeans every time you wear them, all the time. He was wearing shorts yesterday. That's a bag full of shorts. Really? He doesn't take the stairs? That's shocking. Is this first ass or business ass? Business ass. I'm using mileage points to get a business ass upgrade. Dad, where are you going? The cheese is this way. Dad, where are you going? Dad, the cheese is this way. See you later, guys. He literally just walked in the same space. Bye, guys. That was fun. Wait, is that his flight? They're showing footage of his flight? Or just people talking about social distancing? Does he come back? Hold on. Nope, that's just CNBC's getting footage. There you go. All right. They go, hey, look, it's me. I'm on my own show. That's fantastic. Hold on. It jumps back up. What? Oh, God. Just what an asshole. Just friggin' embarrassing. And then, hold on. Right now, we're like the whole world is on Ted Cruz watch right now. Returns to Texas after traveling to Cancun amid winter weather crisis. Yeah, just traveling. He just went down there to apparently deliver his minor children to Mexico with his wife still here. Because I know somebody said Heidi's there with him, but if that's true, she flew in this morning after he was like, can you get here on a flight immediately and watch these kids? I got to go back and pretend I was always coming back. Who's watching Ted's kids? Who? Damn. Yeah, fled Cruz. Yeah, Cruz. Yeah, Ted Cruz fled Cruz. Look, you know, like these are one of the ones where you can always tell when Ted Cruz has when the Zodiac Killer is trending. You know it's Ted Cruz. Man. Oh yeah, and Dinesh. By the way, Dinesh D'Souza, this was his response to the whole thing. What could Ted Cruz do if he were here in Texas? I'm not hard-pressed to say. If he's in Cancun, that means he's not using up valuable resources of energy, food, and water. Yeah, because it costs a lot to keep a Ted Cruz alive. I mean, they use specialty food, and they have to pee on a hot rock. That can now be used by someone else. That's really... How very socialist of you, Dinesh. This is probably the best thing he could do for the state right now. Well, that arguably is true. Ted Cruz not being in Texas is the best thing for Texas, kind of in an evergreen sense. By the way, these are all the people who have literally been paying people to gather signatures to get Gavin Newsom recalled. Just for the record. Gavin Newsom had dinner, I think, without a mask on and a group of people that had all been tested, but was still in the state of California. He didn't fly to Cancun to have that dinner, did he? All right. So, fun people. That said, in terms of, let's see, we have to go back to the general, like, Ted-ishness of the whole thing. This is him arriving. This is on his flight coming in. La da da ba da. Ted Cruz coming a thing. Wearing a jacket, you wuss. And there's the two cops that were walking him through. He asked for police protection coming into. This is them coming in. And he makes kind of like weird, like. Small talk with the cops as they're walking them up the jetway. We saw a couple of feet of snow and then we were kind of gone. That's what I understand. He's talking about like snow on the East Coast. Dude, I'm sorry about that shot right there. That's unfortunate. Beat cops have it rough. That said, after he says that, these cops are watching. People are walking behind him and laughing or whatever. He doesn't say another word to them. Now they're the help.
I know, right?
Yeah. Creeps. I mean Ted and Dinesh, by the way. God damn. Like the amount of just like the sleaziness of this stuff. And it is, I gotta say, it is non-stop. Like this of all things, this is him yesterday where he's wearing his come and take it stupid. By the way, he doesn't have a gun on him. I'm just saying, when you fly to Mexico, he just had carry-on. I'm guessing in that little beach bag he was bringing, and the other bag that he came with, which is, by the way, a weekender with the extra pack open. Because let's just say you are going overnight, and you're a sitting U.S. senator, you got to bring a goddamn suit everywhere you go. So you have that, or a suit jacket at least. I mean, you're a Texas senator, so you can, you just bring a denim shirt and you're fine. Yes, Jillian, that's the mask, absolutely. That's his, and he's wearing AirPods. Whatever happened to big tech and Silicon Valley being the bad guy, and Apple and all the horribleness? Apple taking Parler off their app site, but this asshole isn't getting some aftermarket secondary headphones because he can't be bothered. Well, they are the best. But look at that extra bag. Look at this. Look at this shit. And it's the same size coming back. I would almost buy it if he came down there with this and it was like, I'll pack some of your shit in my bag. I do that a lot while I'm traveling. I'll put it in here. I have extra space in case I have to buy something where I am. That happens. As a comic on the road, you leave a reservoir of about 10% in your suitcase just in case you have to buy something clothing-wise when you're there. Like, it's a torrential downpour of rain every single day, and you're like, shit, I didn't pack a raincoat. And, all right, that kind of thing. Look at that shit. Look at this nonsense. And he brought it on. He doesn't have a gun. Well, you're a sitting U.S. senator. Of course you can bring a gun to Mexico in your check-on bag. Welcome to MS-13 Airlines. And then, so he's wearing his come and take it stupid mask. Where are these? I mean, is that one of his kids? Is that the kids? I mean, I'm not interested in seeing them if they're, but they look like they're loitering with him. I'm going to assume yes. So this is the size of the kids he left in Mexico. Has he heard a single word Trump has told us about who's in Mexico? Ugh, God, the worst thing about this story is his friggin' face. Meanwhile, doesn't look like Cancun, man, in Texas. Oh, and she lost it. Yeah, these are all the power plants. Are they showing any of the frozen wind turbines? If this happened anywhere else in the country, this wouldn't be an issue. Texans are in shelters. Yeah. Oh, and this is Greg Abbott.
Fossil fuels in the United States. Every state is going to constantly have challenges like what America has seen take place in Texas right now.
The governor...
Bullshit, by the way. That whole argument, like, you guys have seen, like, the windmills in the Netherlands. For Christ's sake, windmills, think of where, besides the United States, where in Europe did you hear of and see windmills, classic windmills that are hundreds of years old, like the old thatch ones? Northern England, Ireland, and Scotland, where obviously winters happen, but Northern Europe, like Sweden, the Netherlands, Austria, in the Alps, for Christ's sake, wind still occurs. Christ almighty.
Used an interview on Fox News to peddle misleading claims,
Misleading, yeah. They get somewhere like 10 to 12% of their energy from renewables most of the time. Understand that they have made it intermittent because they don't want to be reliant on it. So they're like, they want to prove it's shitty by letting it rot. Again, this is always how Republicans govern. Same shit every time. Government can't do anything right. Elect me so I can prove it. And Abbott and Ted Cruz and Cornyn and everybody there, that mayor that just resigned that said, well, you suck it up and die. Yeah, I'm not responsible for you. Like, you're the mayor. If you don't want the responsibility, don't take the goddamn job. But they get 10 to 12%, and materially they're getting 6 to 8% regularly from it, but they don't want it to work. They literally want it to fail. The political nature of Texas is, especially because the oil and gas industry is so huge there, that they want it to be awful. So they don't maintain it the way they should. They don't upgrade the materials. They don't upgrade the gear. But that wasn't even what caused this shit. The actual facilities were so poorly insulated. And it's not like they don't have winter. They just don't have winter like this. So imagine what it's like to be one of the natural gas operators in these places. They don't have heaters in the natural gas facility, keeping the air warm inside the control rooms where they deal with the natural gas that's being piped out. The actual gauges froze. Jesus, lazy. I am up to date. That's my defining characteristic. Needless to say, Ted Cruz is going to be eating this shit sandwich for the next 4 years. There's no point where he comes out of this without carrying this nonsense everywhere he goes. And he's going to, this made up story and all this stuff, he'll repeat it. Nobody's buying it. Even Republicans in Texas, they don't like him. If you're likable, people, you can kind of bullshit your way out of stuff. I know from experience. People will give you room to move because they know you're in a decent place. And they're like, all right, yeah, I know you're bullshitting me, but it doesn't matter. It's no skin off my nose. It's not going to change anything. Right? You do that with your friends. Your friend's kind of not telling you the truth, but you're like, it doesn't matter. You're cool. You'll be fine. You know what I mean? He keeps getting elected, but Elaine, according to Absolute Proof, the Mike Lindell special that we all watched and suffered through, because of that thing, we know that the Texas elections are the most corrupt in the country, and they use ES&S and heart machines. This is according to the experts that Mike Lindell brought on, and that guy was basically saying for years they've been flipping votes and sending their votes overseas and getting them changed. And during that period of time, Beto and Biden lost Texas. So if the Texas elections are the worst in the country, are not to be trusted, then the way they turned out would largely be the most corrupt. Honest. Yeah. Wow. Mike Pill. Wow. What's the heaviest lift of getting away with it I've gotten using just charm? Most of it happened in high school. Seriously. Yeah. There was a moment in high school where I might have done a little time if I hadn't been as adorable. I felt in that moment that I didn't deserve it, but there you go. So he's not going to live this down because nobody wants to let him live it down. Nobody. Everybody in Texas, Republicans in Texas, everybody else in, God knows Josh Hawley is happy about this. It just, somebody was like, somewhere Josh Hawley has got a red marker and is just scratching off Ted Cruz's name on a list. He's not going to run. They won't forget. Because there's other people who want that seat. You have to understand, it's not even about the Republicans, will care about this shit. It's that somebody else in Texas would love to have his control. It's not like they're going to be any better. They'll be just as awful as him. Thanks, Alicia. So anyways, I'm looking forward to how this works itself out. He'll continue to do this crap. Please be okay, Patrick Stewart. Please be okay, Patrick Stewart. Please be okay. Yeah, everybody's like, oh, man, you can't. No, we're not losing Patrick Stewart. I'm not doing that. Whatever. He's okay. All right. I swear to God, if Twitter finds out that somebody passes, there has to be a rule. They got to have a rule that says we got to only let the rip trend so people know what the hell happened. By the way, this next one that I'm going to play is, since we're on the theme of Dinesh D'Souza, this really works. I have not listened to any of it. I'm sure the advice that Dinesh is about to give us all is rock solid, but I literally laughed out loud just at the picture. This killed me. I don't know why he shops at like a Disney employee store. I don't know what's happening. Every time. We cover the major from Texas tweets. I don't know what you're referring to. Let me know. But yeah, this guy is a. I can't do this. This is so funny. Because here's what it's called. The title of the thing. Here's what Trump should do to get the last laugh. Well, apparently, looking at a picture of you. Oh, Richard. Okay. I didn't see his tweets, but I will look. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. So.
I'm excited to find out what.
Hold on.
I'm excited to find out what big move Donald Trump makes next.
Yeah, we all are. We're all super excited to see what the big move is. I'm going to guess it's a bowel-related incident, and it's just him banging his phone on the sink, wondering why it doesn't have Twitter on it, because he's got COVID brain
So here is Trump. He has taken this unbelievable savagery from the left.
He's taken this unbelievable savagery. Listen, unbelievable savagery. Because he was called out on his behavior. He was impeached twice because of illegal activities he was involved in. He was absolutely on the hook with Russia, and it deserved looking into, and we still haven't had a full reckoning of that. But the savagery, you know, what Officer Sicknick went through, according to Dinesh D'Souza, is chicken shit compared to what Trump had to deal with, the absolute savagery. Well, you know what they didn't do? You know what no one on the left did? Dinesh, with your giant clip-on microphone. You know what they didn't do? They didn't beat him to death or attempt to kill him with a flagpole with a thin blue line flag on it. They didn't jab a flagpole into his eye socket, blinding him. They didn't do anything to Trump even close to what Trump's supporters did to police at the Capitol. So eat a bag of frog assholes.
But he's beaten them.
Yeah, he beat them. He beat them, guys. He beat them so badly. He now isn't on Twitter, isn't on Facebook, won't get a Telegram or a Gab account because he's too embarrassed because it's too low rent. He doesn't hang out in those kind of, in the Craigslist corners of the internet. He doesn't have a Parler account because it seems like he's losing. He's beaten them. Has he?
2-0 in the whole impeachment process. They've impeached
him, but he wasn't removed. Oh, he was removed by the voters by the largest margin in history.
Impeached him twice, and they failed twice. That's also going to go down in history.
Yeah, as a Republican fix. That asterisk will go. Republicans uniformly refuse to even address the evidence against him. They just got rid, they just blocked it based on a technicality because they were protecting him.
2 strikes.
By the way, for the record, can I see this little business? But I'm sure we'll hear about big tech. I'm sure in this little bit we'll hear about the attacks on him. Yeah.
And both times they didn't succeed.
Boat times. The impeachment was on a boat now. All right.
Now, it's important for Trump to figure out the right move.
Yeah, call him. Tell him this. What's the right move
next? And of course, lots of people are coming up with ideas, and I have my own.
Right. Hence the name of the video.
About what Trump should do in the short and the medium term.
What about the long term? Oh, right. There is no long term.
Trump himself has said that the MAGA movement is, quote, only just begun.
Yeah, that's what a loser would say.
And he goes that in the coming weeks and months, he will have...
It's like literally, that's like a guy on the mat, unconscious, wakes up, they're smelling salting, they're putting smelling salts under his nose as a boxer. He's like, what round is it? That's what that means.
Much to share with us.
He has lots to share, guys. He's going to be sharing a lot with us, like his anger of the PGA dropping his properties.
A sign of Trump's continuing popularity. He went golfing in Florida.
Yeah, that's how you know you're popular. Some of the most popular people in the world golf at their own properties.
And then as he was heading back from West Palm Beach, massive crowd. I mean,
were brought there, organized by Right Side Broadcasting Network, bussed in. We saw the buses, dickhead.
Unbelievable crowd when you consider this.
It was quite believable considering they were bussed in.
This is a guy out of office. He's a private citizen. But a huge...
Why is Hal watching a bowler? Nobody fucks with D'Souza.
Crowd mobilizes to support him with signs, jubilant.
Yeah, I was gonna give Trump some advice on Wednesday. I'll give Trump some advice on Saturday instead. Woo!
And screaming. And this shows you that Trump remains...
Anybody who hasn't watched The Big Lebowski is not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
...a potent force on the right and in the Republican Party. I'm not sure if McCall...
Sorry, Dinesh, I'm too busy laughing at my own impersonation of John Turturro.
Arnold recognizes that. But he is a Lilliputian figure compared to Trump. Now...
What? He's a Lilliputian character. Dude, you literally address like someone from the Lollipop Guild ice cream store. Biden's a Lilliputian character who won the presidency with 81 million votes, is currently the singular most popular president in his first 30 days since Reagan.
What should Trump do? Steve Bannon,
yeah, please tell us.
Former White House advisor, thinks that Trump should...
And present non-bather.
Make himself Speaker of the House. In other words, lead a move...
Yeah, we saw that yesterday. I'm for it. Yeah, because Republicans can vote you in. Anybody can be Speaker of the House. You don't actually have to be like a sitting representative. It's the weirdest thing. Can you raise the screen volume? I'll try. Let me see if that's as loud as he gets. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Does that we have to do this whole thing where I bring me down and bring the whole volume up a little bit in here. I think let me do this little setting. Come here. Filters. Turn the gain up. I'm going to have to add a little gain to this business. Check. Ooh, that's too hot, lady. Hey, check. Okay, and let's see if we'll get to an audio level you guys can like. Hold on.
Movement to take back the House in 2022, get elected Speaker himself, and then impeach Biden. So this to me is, this would...
Crazy, but awesome. And yes, please lose your frigging mind on this idea. I'm 100% for it.
It would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be. It would be fantastic. Trump, please try this. Please. Please go from president to the Speaker of the House.
This is very much Bannon's kind of strategic Machiavellianism. I consider this...
Totally. Honestly, this is like some Art of the Wart shit.
Unlikely, but it is fun to think about.
Unlikely, but fun to think about. The Dinesh D'Souza story.
Second option, I'm going to call this the Lindsey Graham option.
Oh, no. The Lindsey Graham option? What is that? Do whatever they tell you or they'll release the video? What's the Lindsey Graham option? He could run the entire government from inside a closet. The Lindsey Graham option. The Lindsey Graham option. Make friends with someone and speak very well of them, and then as soon as they pass away, defecate on their grave and take whatever spoils you can from them.
Is that Trump mobilizes with the Republican Party to win back both houses of Congress. I think Graham is hoping for this one.
The reason the Speaker of the House can be anybody is kind of like old rules before they had. It is 100%. I would call it a straight up impossibility. It's one of those things like it's in line with the QAnons and Mike Flynn and some of those assholes thinking that Trump could call up a militia that belongs to the White House that's been kind of in mothballs since 1804, that kind of stuff. Nobody's done it since then. You just use the band, but actually they have a firing squad. That bullshit. It's about the same level as that.
Graham goes, he's ready to move on and rebuild the Republican Party. He's excited.
Yeah, he's totally. He did such a good job building it over the last couple of years, losing the House, losing the Senate, losing the presidency, that I can't wait to see the fine artisanal craftsmanship that is, Donald Trump is basically the Etsy of the Republican Party. I can't wait till he gets a leather awl in his hands.
About 2022. And 2022 does have real opportunities. And Trump, of course,
for even more failure,
would need to recognize that the solution here is not to attack the Republican Party. It's certainly not to create a new party, a patriot.
No, you would never create a patriot party. Can I interest you in the Baskin Robbins party? It's a big tent kind of a party. We have 31 different versions of conservatism. Seriously, if this asshole rolls up in your neighborhood in an ice cream truck, call the goddamn cops. He's a felon. He shouldn't be around children. I'm not kidding about the shirt. Look. I did work with Fred Willard a couple times. He's a lovely human being.
Party, a MAGA party. That's the one thing that Trump must not do.
Okay, so that's probably what he's going to do then. The worst idea ever. Got Trump written all over it.
And I don't think he's dumb enough to do it. Why?
He's not quite dumb enough to do it. He's just shy of dumb enough to do it. He's really dumb, but he's not dumb enough to do it because it's not that he's dumb. It's that he's frigging lazy. Domino's Pizza. We're not doing a very good job avoiding the Noid right now. I'm sorry, I can't. This guy is giving a former president advice. And he's calling the current sitting president with the largest number of votes in American history a Lilliputian.
Because if he did it, it would split the conservative vote into two. It would
yeah, that's why I'm 100% for it, dummy.
Even make red...
If Pepto-Bismol had a clothing line. Hi, I'm Dinesh D'Souza, and I'm in your colon with a broom.
States competitive for the Democrats. Why? Because the vote would be divided between the Patriot Party and the Republican Party.
Because they're very different things. Republicans are not patriots. Thanks for pointing that out.
And that would be very bad news for all of us. I don't...
Not all of us.
think Trump's going to do that.
You don't? Why? Because he's too lazy. That's why. He doesn't know how to form a political party any more than you do. Obviously, you're not a golfer. I like your style, D'Souza.
But is Trump feeling like he can embrace the Republican Party, take over the Republican Party, so to...
Yeah, treat it like he treats women he's never met before. Can Trump walk right up to the Republican Party, who rather would never actually have to be in his presence ever again, and just grab the Republican Party by the junk?
To speak. That's a real option for him. Now, there is a way to do that.
Okay, let's hear it. This is going to be good. Okay, everybody take notes.
The way to do that
is first, you get the cone. Then you dip the scooper in warm water. That way you get a good cut and a good roll. Don't push too hard or the sugar cones aren't a problem, but a plain cone will completely... I'm kidding. That's not the plan. The first thing you do is pick a lane. Then you ask if it's available and for how long. Then you get your shoes. Don't get your shoes and then stand there like a dickhead, sticking your finger in every ball in the line, waiting for a lane to open up. That's a sucker's game. Dinesh D'Souza giving people advice is... Oh, God. I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. Who broke me? That shirt. God damn. I am not cracking myself up, by the way. I'm having a good time with my own jokes. I appreciate them. Don't get me wrong. But this fucking dude... I can't. I need a minute. Oh. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right. Here we go. I'm crying. This is terrible. Okay, here we go.
Is for Trump to embrace MAGA candidates and run against some of the 7 guys that voted against him on impeachment in the Senate. There are others in the House, 10 or so of them.
10 or so? There's 11. There's exactly 11. I know that, so you know that. And I would like to say for the record that this is the advice that everyone is saying. This, I guess we're still in the Lindsey Graham bullshit. Oh, God. All right,
now,
I'm fine.
The formula here is for Trump.
Sorry if I'm... people overseas, I'm making you laugh too loud for your neighbors. I'm sorry.
Target.
There are worse problems to have in a pandemic, goddammit. This is us counting our blessings. Shit. All right, I can't wait to see what the third option is. The first one was Steve Bannon, the second was Lindsey Graham. Please give us a Ted Cruz angle and tell me you recorded this before all of the shit hit the fan.
It's Republican defectors in safe districts. So people...
Yeah, don't go after the Republican defectors in purple districts.
Like Murkowski in Alaska. Or...
What, you think Alaska's safely Republican? If they've kept Murkowski in there?
Somebody like Ben Sass in Nebraska. Even Romney in Utah. Why? Because...
Yeah, go after Romney in Utah. That'll go well because Romney's not like connected in Utah and doesn't have a stranglehold on politics.
If you knock off these guys and have another Republican, that guy's going to win. It's like Tuberville. Tuberville won pretty easily.
Yeah, because it's always a red. Yeah, okay.
And he won because it was a red state. Now, much more dicey is to target a Susan Collins in Maine. Why? Because, yeah, you can replace her with a MAGA candidate, but can that candidate win the general?
No, they can't. And you're not going to beat Mitt Romney in Utah either. Mike Lee is fucked.
Election. My guess is probably not. So my advice, leave Susan Collins alone.
Yeah. Guys, leave Brittany alone. I mean Susan Collins. Stop it. She's been through so much.
Focus on the other candidates. Now, apart from this electoral politics, there are a couple of other options.
Electropolitics.
Available to Trump that are worth considering. Trump is actually...
Okay, besides electoral politics, what other options does he have? Professional golfer, food taster at McDonald's.
Actually ruminated.
A traveling show.
There have been some reports about this, about starting his own social media platforms.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. It's called Trumper, and it's only for Trumpers, and you can Trump or not Trump. Everything that I write gets a thumbs up. There is no dislike except everything. And
so maybe a platform to compete with Facebook or...
Yeah. The Trump social media that platform he starts is going to compete with Facebook. It's not going to compete with Gab.
YouTube. I know Trump would...
YouTube, yes. You're going to knock YouTube off. Dude, you're not going to knock YouTube off.
Would like to take his revenge on Twitter because he loved Twitter. Twitter was almost like an extension of his personality. You'd almost say the personality of Twitter itself has been shaped by Trump, and yet Trump is...
not anymore. It used to be a vile dumping place for evil, and a lot of those people went to Parler.
Is a very striking absence on Twitter. It's almost like his presence still hovers over Twitter.
What? How many of us are just like, oh, where is he now?
And I know Trump would...
I don't know about you, but I was watching the NASA shit today.
Like to teach Twitter a lesson.
Twatter. Yeah, because you grab it, right?
But all that being said, I'm not sure if that's the best way for Trump to go. Trump?
No, you're not. You don't think it's not the best? You don't think it's the best way to go, Dinesh? Really?
Might do better just to steer people to alternative platforms.
Yeah, that's what he can do. He can start like a Yelp for... Oh my God, Templeton. My partner is staying at where? I'm sorry. I missed... Hold on. I need to see what you said there as it came through. Templeton, bless you. My partner is staying at a hotel tonight near his job at Metro to avoid ICE for 3 a.m. report time. Great to have laughs and company tonight. Love you, Hal. I love you too, Templeton, the rat. Bless you. Thank you for that. That's amazing. Please stay safe, both of you. Thanks, Michael. Oh, my God. Dinesh is the gift that keeps on giving. Templeton, that will be going towards RAM. And you know how I mean that. What? All right.
Gab and CloutHub and Parler.
Yeah, you know, the big ones. Gab and CloutHub. CloutHub. Jesus Christ. Try harder. And Parler. Which Parler? American Parler or Russian Parler or the one on the server in Myanmar now?
And Rumble and so many others that are popping up.
Rumble. Yeah. By the way, that's where we're watching this. He's posting it on this is Rumble. This is like, yeah, and what happens is it's a cool site because you don't like stuff. You just think, man, that idea deserves a Rumble. So I'm gonna pay for a Rumble. It's a Rumble, man. 3,572 views. That's a solid series, man. It's a lot of views considering you got very little Rumbles on there, man. What the fuck is Cloud Hub? That's a great question. You know who's asked that question a lot and doesn't have an answer? The people who run Cloud Hub.
Some better than others. Some of them, Parler is still making its way back. But the bottom line of it is the infrastructure will be.
Yeah, Parler's on. It's the comeback kid.
Be there. Trump doesn't
Tater.
Need to necessarily.
We had Twitter, and we were gonna have Trumper. We decided to mix the two. We're going with Trader.
Build it from scratch. One idea I discussed with Trump myself, my family had a meeting with Trump
Thanks, Richard.
in November.
Can you oil Dinesh, can you oil the bowling lanes, please?
Of 19. And
ball caught on lane 2.
Oddly enough, he asked me what he should do after the presidency.
Oh, that's weird. He asked you what you should do. Well, you both have been prisoners, so
I obviously assumed it would be after 2 terms, but I suggested
to
Trump, I said, hey, Mr. President, you should start a network. And I had in mind not so much...
This was Dinesh's idea. Start your own TV network. You know, like Mike Lindell's WVW Volkswagen network.
Kind of cable show.
God damn.
Not talk radio on TV, but rather a kind of lifestyle network. More like CBS.
A lifestyle, more like what? CBS?
Yes, or ABC or NBC.
Start a network like CBS, ABC, or NBC. What are you going to call it? Trump Broadcasting said we have to sue TBS first. I have to sue Turner so I can have those initials.
See, a network that has stand-up comedy and movies and news and analysis and a show.
Man, yeah, because of all the great pro-Trump stand-ups that are out there. They're just a joy to watch. And so it's fun to watch them kind of go up there, start off with some "my wife is ugly" jokes, or I guess Ted Cruz's wife is ugly jokes now if they're Trump comedians, and then devolve into a James Wood rant where they're like, right. I love clapter comedians who come out there and just get a bunch of applause from people who are like, isn't Trump the greatest ever? I mean, basically, Eric Trump, I guess, is who he's talking about. It's not really stand-up. It's just when Eric talks, people laugh.
Parallel to The View and reality shows, the whole gamut.
Yeah, the whole gamut. You need a Trump version of The View, but no fat chicks. Everybody's hot, and they all just talk about what a great lover I am. The View from my apartment that I don't go to anymore. Good God. We're going to have Solid Gold. We're going to bring that back. And instead of dancers and hit music, it's just going to be my furniture. Melania's going to pick it all. It'll all be solid gold.
Trump is totally in a position to do that.
He's totally in a position to do that. He's broke. He's massively in debt. Nobody wants to be around him. And he has no taste. And, well, I take it back. You could, Dinesh, maybe he just needs a headquarters for it. I mean, he can't do Trump Tower, obviously, because he's not going back to New York. Maybe someplace close, like Atlantic City. If he just had a bit, oh, shit.
He's got money. He's got the connections.
He's got the brains. You got the look. Let's make Dinesh money.
He's got a massive following that would make up the customers, the viewers.
Mark, it's a good idea. These are all great ideas for my YouTube channel. Absolutely. I'm going to start a goddamn network. I'm more likable than Trump is, for God's sake.
Of that network.
I do, all my programming would be like 3 hours long and tend to drone a bit. But, you know, when we get laughs, they get you right to the soul.
And this network would pay great dividends for our side. We sorely need it. We feel the...
Yeah, you mean a propaganda network? We sorely need it. Is this Dinesh just pissed that Fox News and Fox TV are different? And he's like, why can't the Simpsons writers stop mocking Trump and start doing pro-Trump cartoons?
The absence of it. The other side can gang up on us because we don't have a megaphone as big as they do. This would be a
Yeah, because you haven't earned it. You're not entertaining. You're mean-spirited and dickish. Your ideas and philosophies died in 1942 many of them overseas.
Megaphone probably bigger than anything they have. So I don't think that...
Yeah, that's right. So Trump starts a network to compete with ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, the television network, not the news network. And Trump's network would be just so friggin' awesome. It would just kick all their asses. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a TW. Like if we had the CW, but with Trump-related stuff, and Christy Swanson could star in everything, and then it'd be this we'd revive Joni Loves Chachi, and Joni would, of course, be played by James Woods this time. And John Voight would be the wacky neighbor.
The starting of a network is inconsistent with Trump running again in 2024, or inconsistent with Trump working to elect Republicans. You could do one and the other. You can do the network now, build it out, have the Trump family sort of move into it.
By the way, let it not be lost on you that he's now got Follow Me on YouTube as well up on his thing or whatever. But please tell us again how big tech is against you. Yeah, Kevin Sorbo would be, the View would be the Trump View be John Voight, James Woods, Kevin Sorbo, and Ghislaine Maxwell live from her cell.
And Trump could then leave his options
Dean Cain
open for what he wants to do in 2022 or 2024.
Yeah, if he starts a network right now and it's just awesome by then, he could just like put it on autopilot, bruh.
Bottom line, Trump has a wide vista of possibilities ahead.
Yeah, it sounds great. I think he should do all of them.
He remains a potent force, almost a force of...
A force of nature? Is he going to say force of nature?
Nature in the...
A force of nature in the Republican Party. There are forces of nature. There's wind, there's fire, there's rain, there's hurricanes. There's also farts, arguably. I mean, honestly, is there a part where Trump's entire, this is the level of force of nature we're talking about.
Republican Party, most Republicans' loyalty is to, I won't say necessarily just Trump the man, but what Trump represents. The Trumpian ideology, the Trumpian spirit. That is the future of the party, and
Totally.
I think it will also prove to be the future of the nation.
Ah! Oh, this is what he has to wear when he goes to work at his second job. They make you wear a suit when you park cars in his building. This is the Dinesh D'Souza podcast. By the way, that picture's what is the orange? Is he wearing makeup on camera? What is with the jaundiced smear? Is this like war paint that all the Trump supporters, like Rudy looked the same color too? Look at this. Ugh. Look, I know I turn up the contrast on my thing sometimes and to get myself cut out, and I still haven't gotten a really solid cutout on the green screen in the new setup, and it bugs me, and I'm working on it. And I know it makes me look blotchy sometimes because I have to dump some other information in the video in the camera that I'm getting, and then boost others to make it look kind of normal. But what is this? What is this? What is this yellowing situation? Because if it's not makeup, a doctor visit would be really important right now. They have the same bad makeup artist. It's Vanilla Sauce. All the kids pick on him. They're like, "Can you get me? Can I have extra mustard?" Because they know he can't handle. The mustard container, and it always goes, "Oh, you kids." Oh, God. I can't imagine the rest of these things are going to be this fun. Oh, hi. Jesus Christ, woman. You just lay your guns across the books. And these are shells, spent shell casings. This is a AR-15, couple of them. This is her, is that a 9mm? I'm not familiar. It might be it looks smaller. I don't know what model that is. I'm sure some ammosexual will jump in. This is your standard pump action shotgun. That's what we call the Biden right down there. That's the one he recommends for home security. Where you go rock salt, birdshot, buckshot. Rock salt, birdshot, buckshot. Rock salt just lets them know you're there. Birdshot, it's going to send them to the doctor, but not to the emergency room. And buckshot's going to drywall. You're going to have to do some drywalling, as I think Bill Burr said. So usually you do, the top three. Buckshot will be enough in close quarters, rock salt's enough in close quarters to drive most people away. Sorry. Then slug, really? That's the level of it. So here's my if you got like 8. Let's say it's got an 8-round capacity in your shotgun. This is what I would go with. I'd go straight up 4 rock salt. I'd go 2 birdshot, 1 buckshot, and a slug. Right? Does that seem right? Her ammo stock would surprise me. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure that the cartridges are even facing the right direction in her gun. These look like props to me. I'm sure she goes to the range with them, brings them back hot, leaves them on the shelf next to some water. Yeah, it's fun. So we're supposed to believe, though, that if any time during the Zoom call anybody attacks her verbally, she can return fire by, I don't know, shooting through the webcam of her laptop. This is a baby shower in Alabama. Yeah, this is the kids' room. She's broadcasting from the kids' room. I would like a list of these books that's on here, though. But this is the Blaze. So they're going to bring her in. The name of this one is Lauren Boebert Triggers Liberal Meltdown with Defense of Second Amendment. My goodness. A liberal meltdown. My.
Mr. Chairman, we all took an oath to uphold and secure the Constitution, every single one of us. Our first act as members of Congress
right, we know this. Everybody did.
Was to take our oath of office. And please allow me to remind you a portion of that oath.
Just portions, though.
The chair and every other member here solemnly swore that we would support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And you didn't really mean it with the people who stormed the Capitol, because you were telling them where other elected representatives were inside the building, aiding and abetting domestic terrorists. So you were just blowing off that part?
The Second Amendment is very much a part of the Constitution of the United States. And so it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, that's where it gets its name.
How you feel, how you classify it. This is an enumerated right that American citizens have to.
Right. Go into it for us, shall you? Let's hear the wording.
To keep and bear arms. Maybe some of you need to be reminded the Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security.
Yeah, the well-regulated part is what they're addressing that day. I'm gonna just say your shelf doesn't look well-regulated, ma'am.
Of a free state. I know you don't like those words, necessary, security. Excuse me, I actually take those words back.
Yeah, asshole. You want to hear some words that Lauren Boebert doesn't like? Trigger locks.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That ends in
a well-regulated militia. It starts with the concept that in terms of a well-regulated militia, in terms of
period. There's no semicolon to follow.
There's no semicolon.
That there are no examples on when government can restrict these rights.
Yes, there is. It starts with an example. A well-regulated militia. Well-regulated, as in regulations.
So any clever proposition that comes after that is an infringement on our constitutional rights.
No. Any assertion that you can keep and bear arms randomly with no limits is is you lying about the content of the Second Amendment.
As you've heard, other committees are not taking up similar rules. I also sit on the Budget Committee, and there's not a rule banning firearms from the hearing or conference rooms. How do you plan to enforce this, Mr. Chair, if there's no
by removing the person from the committee and voting them out?
Enforcement measures here? Why have the rule? Will there be metal detectors installed outside the committee hearing doors? What is the procedure for delaying a vote as members get screened? Who is going to pay for these new metal detectors and increase?
The taxpayer, so that we don't have to pay for a regular election every 3 months because some armed dickhead misfires their gun and blows their neighboring voter's head off.
Security. Mr. Chairman?
Bitch, you can't even change the 9-volt in your fire alarm.
Will you pay for this, or will the taxpayers?
The taxpayer pays for it. Like we do with Marine One, like we do with the entire goddamn military, and like we do with the salaries of the Capitol Police. Because it's their job to kill intruders if they come in, so that we can carry on with the business of governing without worrying whether or not you're going to go full QAnon that day.
Cover these expenses. I would like to request at this time personal security detail that the chairman pays for himself for every time I step into the committee room. If this is passed, the chairman is trying to take responsibility for my personal safety while stripping away my Second Amendment rights. I don't want a security guard.
You work in a place with armed guards. And after you helped foment January 6th, there's going to be more of them than ever. And the only hope of anybody in the future getting in there with a gun is going to be by taking yours from you, which you display.
I want personal security detail. I need personal security detail to protect each member that requests.
You do. You have Capitol Police inside the building.
House Police has proven that they believe they need fences lined with miles of razor wire because there are those active threats against the Capitol complex.
Yeah. The active threats are on your side. And that fence and razor wire isn't going to stay there. It's temporary until March 4th, when you and Marjorie Taylor Greene's friends plan on another attack.
So if they want razor wire, fences, security, armed security, then we should be able to protect ourselves against these threats. And I want my own.
I'm sorry, you need to protect yourself against the armed security of the Capitol? So you're just going to straight out snuff cops inside the building? Is that what you're saying?
Security detail. On January 6th, none of us were looking to our neighbors saying, gosh, I hope there are enough metal detectors outside. No, the Speaker of the House was whisked away safely while we were all left vulnerable and defenseless.
Is he sucking on a pencil or a pen, rather, a Sharpie, or is he vaping?
That I would like to ask, will there be places to store firearms? I'm allowed to carry my firearm in the Capitol complex. So will there be a safe storage area for me to lock up?
Yeah, you can have a gun locker.
My firearm once I'm disarmed by this committee's chairman. I believe that this is just messaging on the part of the Democrats. It is unconstitutional for members of Congress.
It's completely constitutional. You can put limits on the inside of federal buildings on the free carry of guns for the safety of everyone involved. That's why you have armed guards outside.
To be detained on their way to vote. With that, I would like to say, are there any other enumerated rights that will be nullified in this committee? Do we have?
Yes, there are. Yeah, she's right. She's right, guys. She's right. There are other enumerated rights that are going to be infringed on her. She can't bring child porn into committee hearings. She can't bring a bazooka into a committee hearing. She can't bring a flamethrower or any other incendiary device. She can't bring a kerosene tank and a Bic lighter with a wick in it and a Bic lighter into committee. She can't, during the meeting, speak out of turn. So clearly her free speech is being violated. She'll be removed from the room if she talks out of turn enough times. Clearly, this is a violation of her First Amendment rights. She is sometimes going to present evidence or ideas or papers of her own or some shit and move that it be entered into the record. And the committee itself is going to say, fuck you, no, we're not putting that in the record. And then she's going to say, my free speech has been violated because you guys aren't publishing my stuff. You're no better than Twitter. But this is Lauren Boebert's argument that she should be able to bring child porn or even bring an adult human being into the committee chamber and have sex with them. I mean, free association, that's a peaceable assembly if I've ever seen one, right? Why aren't we not? I mean, what if the committee says that you guys are going to need to have a soldier in your office, during the time that we're watching out for this? She wants a security detail. So they assign a security detail because she wants it. Everybody has to get it because the rules have to apply equally to everybody, which means that there needs to be a separate space in everyone's office specifically for that soldier to be there 24/7, depending on when they're there. So that's a violation of their freedom to not have to quarter soldiers. I mean, this is Lauren Boebert's argument for child porn. She wants to bring in a projector and play child porn on the wall. If they don't let her, it's a violation of her First Amendment rights. And what happens if she's supposed to be in there for a vote? She's got a projector and reels of child porn.
Have the right to free speech here.
What if she insists that they do a goat sacrifice to Satan to open the committee hearing? And everybody in the committee hearing goes, you can worship whoever you want, but we're not doing a goat sacrifice. And she's saying, that violates my freedom of religion as somebody who's in. You see where I'm going with this?
First Amendment secures our right of religious freedom. Are Bibles forbidden in this committee?
No, they use the Bible. But if you come in there and say, as a Scientologist, I will not work with anyone who isn't clear, and everybody here has to take a personality test. And you have to follow my religion if you want to be in this room, because that's what bringing a gun is.
Jeeves, are crosses prohibited?
Ted Cancun.
Prohibited in this committee? Do we have the 14th Amendment? Are we not all equal under the law here in the natural resource?
Yes, they are. They are. Their own safety ends after you have armed guards. Everybody's got armed guards. Everybody's got armed protection, the same level of it, unless there's a specific outward threat that they need to protect against that goes above and beyond that would endanger everybody else, in which case they should step down from and not be in committee.
Forces committee? How about the 19th Amendment? Can women vote in this committee? As a woman, I need to be certain this committee has no intention to take my right away to vote. Why do you think?
Yeah, you can vote. You just have to vote on what's presented in the committee. See how this works?
Cherry pick. Why does anyone think that they could cherry pick the Second Amendment and say that this is the...
You're cherry picking the Second Amendment. You are cherry picking the Second Amendment. Nothing you are talking about has anything to do with a well-regulated militia.
One enumerated right that we can take away from people. Why stop with the Second Amendment? Let's go ahead and quarter soldiers in this committee room.
That's what you were asking for. You were asking for private soldiers to protect you.
Plenty of soldiers in the parking garage at Fort Pelosi in Washington, D.C.
Fort Pelosi. You're going to get sanctioned. You're going to get knocked off committee. You have to act within the rules of comedy. Yeah, she's very pissed. This is what dumb looks like when they're confronted with something and they're told that this is when you've never met your dad and you've been told you're right all your life.
Let's go ahead and forget about due process while we're at it. That way we can unreasonably seize and search members of Congress before they enter the committee room. You know.
No. You're not unreasonably searching and seizing them. If everyone has voted on having metal detectors for the safety of all concerned and you skirt those, then that's probable cause for search. If you're not allowed to have a gun, that's probable cause for seizure. Seriously. This is next level dumb. What committee is this? Probably transportation.
Kind of like what's going on in the House chambers right now. I urge my colleagues to think about this. If we don't protect our rights in Washington, D.C., there's little hope outside of Washington, D.C. for the American people to have those rights. This rule is absurd.
For the record, it's always been against the rules to carry a gun on Capitol Hill. It's always been against the law to carry a gun in the Capitol, whether you're an elected representative or not. It's always been this way. And we've managed to carry on without you, Lauren Boebert. We've managed to do it. We got through the Reagan administration. We got through Clinton giving us a surplus. We got through Bush and Cheney crashing the friggin' economy. We got through Obama and Biden rebuilding it. We even got through Trump and his dipshittery, and nobody needed to bring a gun of their own into committee meetings and ask everyone to constantly worry about whether you're going to discharge it because you're an idiot.
And it's discriminative. Power.
You're discriminating against everyone else. You're insisting that you not well regulate your militia weapons.
Of our constitutionally protected rights.
Yeah, that was bitching. That was, by the way, this was the name of this. Boebert triggers liberal meltdown with defense of Second Amendment. I feel like I should have melted down more. By the way, I have to show you these guys in a minute, but there is a guy, this guy, what's his name? Lyle Rapacki. This guy right here. He does this show like every other day, and he's all in on the Arizona Maricopa County was stolen, blah, blah, blah. And he's always doing this little show from his like this side room, right? And in this, like, it's always in the same space, just so you know. I've watched a bunch of these to see if any of them are worth going. It's just lunacy, and it's fun, but it's dumb, and it's a little low res to make fun of. But now he's stepped up because Rudy showed up on Ash Wednesday. Apparently, he didn't give up bullshit for Lent. And for the record, do you guys remember him shitting on Biden's ash? That when he was talking about it, that Biden has the biggest ash he's ever seen, which in and of itself, good Lord help us. You guys remember that? Yeah. So this is this guy talking. I'll show you a little of this. You don't need it's rando. I've watched this.
I'm Lyle Rapacki reporting for.
Hi, Lyle.
For Prescott E-News in Prescott, Arizona, and this is
thank God.
Arizona Today. My very special guest, as you can tell, is Mayor Rudy.
Yes, I can tell he's very special.
Giuliani, from
especially the way he like squeezes in on his desk and sets his tits on the table. I think it's a classy move.
Former New York mayor and a whole host of other attributes. And Mayor, thank you so very much for.
Yeah, I mean he's a great chess player. He's
taking time out of your schedule to join us.
Pleasure to be with you, Lyle.
It's great seeing you again. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, it was my privilege to work with the mayor.
Yeah, Rudy is super excited to be on Lyle's show.
Mayor these past weeks with his team on the alleged fraud and a number of other issues associated with the last election. And Mayor Giuliani has...
And by the way, Lyle has just now, because of the lawsuits, started saying alleged a lot.
Been just dog.
It's a little backstory. He wasn't saying alleged, but once these lawsuits started dropping, boy, so did the word alleged.
Going after this.
Rudy has ash on his forehead from being Catholic and Ash Wednesday. That's when he did this. Just
to present to America the numerous.
Yeah, let's see if this is this guy. Is the volume?
Issues that have plagued this last election. So I'm just very humbled and very honored to not only have made the acquaintance of this gentleman, but also to have worked with him. And now today he's here, and I want to introduce.
It's joyous. How does he even do it?
This mayor to all of you again from a different point of view. First, before I do that, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you an update In Arizona, the legislature, several members, Representative Fincham in particular,
they're pushing a bunch of laws in Arizona to try and make it harder to vote.
Who's spearheading this, is going to file with the Arizona Attorney General next week, the first of the week, a request to conduct a criminal investigation in Maricopa County on the machines and associated materials.
He's going to do it, or he's filing that they should, or they're going to try to make him do it? A criminal investigation. Okay.
And now this is brand new because again, there's been a lot of stalling, and the supervisors have done everything they can politically to make sure that nothing actually happens. And so Representative Fincham, along
by the way, Fincham's move will not move things either.
With several other legislators.
But he's basically trying to trump their AG, make him go after who he thinks they should go after.
Legislators are taking this aggressive step the very first part of next week with the Arizona Attorney General, and I'll keep you informed. And I don't want to take
I'll tell you what, it's going to fail. Just saying.
any more time from the mayor.
Your Honor, the mayor, the honorable mayor of blah, blah, blah. They sometimes call him Your Honor because of the mayor thing.
I wanted to share that with you all. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a great honor. I'm repeating myself, but it's a great honor and privilege.
Yes, you are.
To be here with Mayor Giuliani. Mayor, I don't think you ever expected to be in a position.
To be on a crappy little show like this one.
Like you are today. Am I correct in assuming that?
Absolutely. I've never assumed that there would be an election fraud of this dimension that was censored by the major part of the media, big business, big tech. You can't get any information about this out with almost, fear of destroying your career.
By the way, this guy is on YouTube all the time. This guy who, you can't bring out this information. That's all this guy does. 100% all the time. 179,000 views on this video alone. 69,000 subscribers. Now, keep in mind, there's some buying of views and pumping of it, just so you know. But, I mean, he's got, this guy's obviously been operating just fine.
Something really
Thank you,
wrong with
Georgina.
that too. Something about gives you the feeling you're in East Germany or something before.
Yeah, it's exactly like East Germany. Because this show had to be smuggled in their pants legs across the border. Jesus Christ.
In the Cold War.
And that's a great lead into another question. We did not rehearse
totally
this, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to.
Yeah, this is so great. I don't know how, people are going to think you guys are going to take this on the road.
But you had a stellar career. And I know you're unpretentious, and I'll go ahead and take the.
Yeah, he's unpretentious. That's why he does a cigar ad where he starts by sucking the thing and blowing the smoke into the lamp.
Hit on this, Your Honor, but this gentleman does not talk about his past and what he's accomplished. He's very unpretentious, and in my opinion, he's a true servant leader. He's gone to work.
He's so unpretentious. He only does his show from the balcony of Trump hotels or his special smoking room.
Work for America, for citizens, and he's allowed his work.
What's up, Lab Rats people?
Work product to speak for himself versus him out tooting his own horn. Now, I'll say that, Your Honor, and I'll take the hit if I get in trouble. But
you're gonna get in trouble for okay.
I would think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Why start now?
I would think that this has been a surprise to you, given your past, given all that you've accomplished. Now,
dude, get to it, for fuck's sake.
They're calling you names, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think you ever saw any of this coming. Am I correct?
Well, I did see it coming, not quite as bad. I mean, I've been through it for quite some time. I represented the president in his impeachment hearings.
Yeah, you did great.
I got quite a bit of criticism for that, quite a bit of ridicule for that, threats, had difficulties with my law firm, clients. So I wasn't completely unprepared.
Yeah, but that's because you suck.
For
it. By the way, a lot of times, and if you dig into this at all, Rudy and a bunch of these other people, and Trump's even his new lawyers have been complaining about death threats. The death threats have actually come from the right wing. I don't want to get into this whole like it was really Antifa that charged the Hill kind of bullshit, but they won't even talk about who it was when the person gets busted. If they didn't do it themselves, which Trump's new lawyer very well may have, but they know that it's right-wingers who think that they're deep state plants, that once he got convicted for both impeachments in the House, that they must be throwing it, that they're not doing it.
I am totally shocked at the double standard. I mean, the evidence that I discovered on Joe Biden,
what evidence?
I was criticized for a year and a half. And then
for not showing it.
The hard drive came out and it corroborated every single.
The hard drive never came out. Never. The New York Post story posted 6 pieces of paper, which you've shown, that aren't validated by anything because you won't show the hard drive to anybody else. The FBI got it and they were like, fuck off with this. This is garbage. There is no evidence. What hard drive? The hard drive didn't come out. There's no hard drive coming out. Like we've had so many goddamn times we have dealt with this bullshit. Where he's like, we tried to show everybody. You didn't show anybody anything. There was no point where he presented it or uploaded the contents. All of Parler is online. 70 terabytes of material from the entire structure of Parler was hacked, downloaded, and reposted, and you can go on the internet and look through the whole goddamn thing. So some rando hacker can afford to do that to Parler, but you've had this friggin' laptop and the hard drive on it, the hard drive of hell, for a year and a half, and you can't post it? Jesus Christ, man. Pay for a Dropbox, load it online. Make it shareable to everybody. What are you talking about? Not once. I'm sick. Like very few parts of this aggravate me, but this whole when the hard drive came out stuff is the hardest, biggest lie in all of this. They've yapped about this bullshit for over a year and a half and nothing.
Thing I said. And
yeah, the hard drive's going to be uploaded on the 4th of March. Absolutely.
Of course, they never apologized.
Thank you, Al Power.
For the fact that they were wrong and I was right.
You weren't wrong. You weren't right. You were wrong. There was nothing. I don't even know if you're wrong. I don't even know if you're right. There's fucking nothing.
All they did was cover up the hard drive. So
what hard drive? 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 I know he doesn't know how to do it. He doesn't have to know how to do it. His son runs the goddamn show that he does from the glory hole chamber at his house. His son knows how to do all that. They upload the video. They can figure out how to do this. They're one phone call away. Just call the guys from Parler and go, what the fuck happened to you guys? Oh, they downloaded this and then they all uploaded it to this site. What site is it? Does it cost anything? No, it doesn't cost anything. That's the pain in the ass. They reloaded 70 terabytes. Jesus Christ. How hard is it? You're 2 phone calls away. Dump the whole thing online. Let me see it.
American people elected a president.
We're having a little trouble, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, because you're talking to Rudy Giuliani.
Hang in there with us.
And then when I started presenting evidence about fraud.
You didn't present any evidence. You presented 6 sheets of paper.
Fraud in the election, like the woman in Georgia who threw all the people out of the counting center, kept just.
All right, we watched all 14 hours of that stupid video.
Just a couple of loyal Georgia Democrats behind and counted 30,000 ballots without any inspection, which is illegal in Georgia. Ballots that look.
We've been through this before.
Like they may very well have been forged ballots, but in any event.
They look like they very well. So, and watching the security camera video, where you literally can't even see what the details of the paper is at all. They're boxes of stuff. They're, all the stuff they're alleging. What does that even mean?
They were illegal. And
I'm going to end with Mars. Don't worry.
When we found that, I thought, oh my goodness, this will turn the corner. We have it on tape.
Yeah. The problem was your interpretation of what you actually had on tape was different from what was actually on tape.
the governor.
Rudy has ashes on his forehead from Ash Wednesday, for those of you that are just joining us. I'm going to have to keep...
of Georgia, both Republicans just scoffed at it as if that's what
as if they knew what was in it and understood it better than you did.
You're supposed to do. You're supposed to count phony ballots. There are 65,000 people in Georgia who are underage that voted.
No, they didn't.
They don't seem to care.
He's talking about 65,000 voters who were registered to vote, didn't vote on November 3rd, but were registered to vote because they were going to turn 18 between November 3rd and the runoff and voted then.
So the thing that shocked me the most
was your reflection.
How effectively the Democrats were able to cover this up.
It's amazing how competent they are at everything, whether it's crime or actually creating a COVID response plan or actually sending federal help through FEMA to states that need it, whether or not the people of those states voted for Biden or not. It's weird. It's funny. It's like they're they're addicted to competence and they can't let it go.
Particularly with the help of some Republicans.
Now, I wrote an article a little while back.
I'm sure it was pithy and full of interesting stuff.
Dealing with servant leadership. I don't see it anymore. I grew up being taught about servant leadership. You don't run for office. You don't gain a position just so you can have a better parking place and a title.
We don't need to watch any more of this. I was just pointing that part of it out with him. I need to show you one other thing because I'm going to run out of time today if I have too much of it. One touch at this. This is how bad it's gotten at Fox.
Yes! Wow! They're applauding Fox Nation shows. There's so many great shows out there. Sadly, I didn't see any inebriated people answering quiz questions, but that's coming up. We're so excited about Fox Nation, and
awesome.
This is the happy hour.
This is a $1 billion industry.
About to get happy, and since we're still recovering from Valentine's Day and President's Day, we decided to pull out all the stops and bring you a very special happy hour that's all about love, lust, romance.
Uh-oh, that upset Ducey. Don't say lust.
And dead presidents. Roll the open, partner.
It's time for happy hour.
Oh, God.
60 minutes of toast, talk, and trivia.
Thank God, it was so much fun. Oh, my God, aren't we fun? We're totally fun. Wow.
That's right. Thank you, Bill Lobley, with that wonderful intro. Welcome,
man, straight to, like, crickets.
Everyone, before today's festivities begin, I got to tell everyone about a special offer we have on the happy hour for our happy hour viewers who are...
By the way, Stephanie Miller fans will recognize the ripoff that Fox Nation is doing.
Watching us on the interwebs, just go to foxnation.com and enter the promo code happy hour.
And we'll just do this, This is Fox News' actual channel. Tom Shalhoub hosts a trivia night featuring Fox Nation favorites. Join the in the fun, and don't forget to bring your beverage of choice.
One word, happy hour.
It's great when Fox has the exact same technical quality as Stuttering John. Big tip of the hat to Stuttering John. Congratulations, John. You are Fox is nipping at your heels very poorly.
It may not be one word, but we're going to make it one word. And you'll get a free 30-day...
Somebody screwed up the graphic. I'll use a
trial of Fox Nation with all...
What? A free trial of Fox... Hold on. It's almost like
they're
I don't
drinking.
care.
He's a Fox News and Fox Nation superstar who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one. The best part of waking up is Steve Ducey in your cup.
That doesn't sound like he thinks it sounds. If you're going to be on Fox Nation, you should wear a cup. 2 Duceys, 1 cup.
Steve and his wife Kathy are the authors of the best-selling cookbook called Happy in a Hurry. The Happy in a Hurry.
Yeah, sell the book.
Cookbook. And here on Fox Nation, you can catch him on Cooking with Steve Doocy.
Son of a bitch. This is the network that Dinesh D'Souza was dreaming about.
American Built. And, of course, House Party with Steve Doocy.
How many shows does he have on Fox Nation? He just does Fox and Friends and then just goes and shoots the rest of that shit the rest of the day?
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. That's the one his kids do when he's away.
That's right. That's right. Hello, Tom Chalou and Lauren and Griff. Nice to see you.
Oh, my gosh. Steve, I'm laughing at my own jokes. It's causing me problems. Steve, what are you drinking?
Well, you know, it's a Thursday in Lent.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people who gave up drinking for Lent.
Wow.
But it's a Thursday night. I'm thinking maybe I can take weekends off. I'm negotiating with myself, but
you can actually.
You can actually? Can you?
You're our
I guess if you're like a, what do you do? Do you like tag team Lent, where your wife says no to chocolate, and you say no to liquor, and so over the weekend she can't drink, and you can you can have chocolate.
So you're as close to a religious person as I know. This is seltzer with watermelon. It's watermelon seltzer, and it's fantastic. Just
oh God.
That is good. It's kind of, we'll call it a...
like parts of my body are cringing right now.
You know, a virgin margarita or something like that. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. It's so good.
Well,
okay.
Steve...
Griff is having a great time, by the way.
You're a better man than me for giving up alcohol for Lent. Let's go to our Fox News Channel chief religion correspondent, also the host of Lighthouse Faith on Fox News Radio. She's making her very first appearance on the Happy Hour. It's Lauren Green. Some fun facts.
I loved her on Bonanza.
It's about Lauren. She's a concert pianist with way too many concert appearances to list. She was also Miss Minnesota. I didn't know that. In 1984, and the third runner-up in the 1985.
Don't say 1984. Just say that. What a dick move.
Miss America contest. Didn't know that either.
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Well, Lauren, you said you can go. You can do the weekends. I thought it was just Sunday. You can go off your.
I mean, technically, it's 40 days, but not including Sundays. And so, because Mass actually is okay. Your weekly Mass on Saturday evening is included, is okay for your Mass for Sunday morning. You know, some people just start Saturday night because you don't want to drink Sunday night.
I'm not interested in...
Who does that? Seriously, either do it or don't. If you can't give up drinking for 40 days, maybe you should give it up permanently.
Sunday. I know Sunday I'm covered. I'm thinking about tomorrow. It's been
Saturday
a long
night.
Week. No, tomorrow is Friday.
No meat,
Friday,
no drink.
A little Saturday.
No meat, no drink for tomorrow for you, right? This is actually, I'm actually of your school. I've given up alcohol during.
I've given up
for Lent for the week. So this is actually orange juice
for the week
and a diet ginger ale.
That's right. Well, see, I gave up.
This is going to be off the chain. Is this normally just a drunken mess?
Lauren, I gave up booze for January. I did January, dry January, and I also am on keto. I've been on keto since Christmas.
Wow.
So I'm pretty much on a starvation diet.
Wow.
You would never know that we wrote a cookbook.
Oh God.
Trying to dry out that liver.
I don't know how much I can stand to this. I want to see them get to a question first. We haven't even introduced Griff yet.
You can spar with Hannity, maybe. He's always trying to, put me in a headlock, Hannity.
That's adorable.
America's trying to put you in a headlock, Tom.
I love how they love each other.
That's right. That's so true. All right. We've got our next guest. He's a Washington-based correspondent for Fox News Channel. He's an avid surfer and returning champ. The women all want him. The men all want to be him. It's Griff Jenkins.
Well,
Hey, listen, I'm feeling guilty.
Listen, I'm just happy to be here. I got a couple of candles, and I've got 2 vases with elephant turds in them. We rolled them ourselves.
Because I am having a Corona Light, and as a
Your 5th.
This is when you had it.
Well, it's in the cold glass.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you gotta, you have fewer the older you get, and I turned 50, so I like it in a cold glass, sort of nurse it. But I didn't give anything
This asshole is younger than me.
up alcoholic for Lent because it's a pandemic. I gave up chocolate, which I routinely give up for Lent because I'm allergic to it. I have been since I was like 3.
Oh, that's crap.
Well, then that's not giving something up, is
So
it?
I see 100%
Still wears Drucker Noir.
And this year I gave up golf too because I don't own golf clubs, and it's way too cold to try and go to a golf course, even if someone tried to force me. By the way, I have brought
What? Then you're not giving anything up.
my secret weapon tonight. This is Rascal.
That's
Oh
cheating.
my gosh.
That's that talking dog I
So-
heard about.
You have the talking dog Rascal who's going to bring me lots of luck in case I get on the ropes on this one. But let's do it, guys.
Yeah, he could be your lifeline. It's like phone a dog, right? Or ask
I've
a
got
doggy.
cats. Can I phone a cat?
You can. Well, you know how we start things off? Well, why don't I tell you? I only gave up the hard stuff. I went with a little red wine, so I have a great Côte de Rhône.
Okay, so he's got a show called Happy Hour, and he's drinking red wine. This is completely stolen from Stephanie Miller.
I have been letting it breathe, so I think I will decant now. And why don't we do our
Thank God Fox isn't the elitist network.
scavenger hunt. This is how we start the show, and I need you guys to spring into action. Now, if you're plugged in, your headset is plugged in. Don't get up and run because the laptop will go flying.
Yeah.
But get ready. I'm going to send you on a scavenger. First one to get back here with chocolate and or flowers gets a point. Go! Chocolate or flowers. There they go.
This would be like a Steve Toobin moment waiting to happen.
My favorite part of the show, just watching people run around their homes. Tripping on throw rugs. Oh my! I think that was a direct tie. Steve and Griff.
I had to go into a whole nother room. Obviously, he just took that off of the top of the TV.
My flowers are bigger. I think I
Yeah,
win.
I could have gone to like 2 steps, but I thought you meant real flowers.
These are real flowers. These are hydrangeas.
I can't do any more of this. This is brutal. I can't. Seriously. This goes on for an hour. It's the Who the Fuck Cares network. Good God. All right, I want to finish on this. This is the part. I needed a palate cleanser before we got into this shit, because the folks that do this are straight up lunatics. This is a channel with 53,000 subscribers. This has 97,000 views. They're definitely, it's regularly, it's one of these, hyper Christian channels on YouTube that, because they're Christian, they can literally get away with saying any bullshit they want. Like all the anti-vaxxer, election fraud, QAnon networks that are still surviving, all just run Jesus stuff for like 5 minutes, and nobody watches past this shit. It's a kid's show? No.
Upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation.
I don't know what that bagpipe's supposed to be doing in the background. Wait, it gets better. His glory, Iron Man, Jesus, spreading the word of God. Articles of impeachment, restoring freedom to we the people. Back to we. Oh, I didn't mean to guess that. Back to we the people. Pastor David Scarlett is basically Jesus. Big old cross made of diamonds. Jesus has left the building. His glory. and magic. Just the quality. Seriously, what the shit? No, we did not go to Home Depot and buy that kind of brick you put on walls, make two sets and put them together in a corner, install one little shelf with a truck with an American flag on it, a plastic plant, and oh, that's a Mount Rushmore clock, because clearly they were there. You can't, God damn it, you cannot have that kind of opening and then leave me with this bullshit. You know what I mean? You can't have the big ha 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 and big signs like glowing shit and like that, and then be like, they look like they bought part of Mr. Rogers' set. We're in Mr. Rogers' basement right now. We're doing, this is the meeting of our local ham radio, folks. And we're here getting together for Jesus. We've all got our headphones in. We got Gabe and Pastor Mustard. And we got Pastor Test over there. And then here I am in the middle. They interview Mike Flynn on this thing. You'll see what I mean.
We want to welcome all of His Glory Nation from east to west to north to south.
To east, west, to north, to south, to northeast, northwest, anybody in the Kanye family.
We bring you a special Take 5 with many special guests, but we have a certain...
It's a Take 5 with 3.
...certain general that's being...
By the way, this show is called Take 5. It's an hour and 20 minutes long. We're not doing this whole goddamn thing. It doesn't earn it. But this is called Take... Who has a fucking show called Take 5 that's an hour and 20 minutes long? What are you doing?
Join us today. I have on my left, Floyd Brown, as he came on yesterday, the owner of the Western Journal, and much more. And
hello, Floyd. How are you? Good to see you. On my right,
we have Jim Stocksdale with us.
Jim Stocksdale, it's great to have you with us. And of course, behind us, behind this fake brick wall behind me is the entire Louisiana Philharmonic.
And I'm going to have Jim introduce what I call America's General.
America's General. A guy who is no longer a general, who lost his job as the NSA, the shortest NSA in American history, lost it for lying to the president and the vice president, which he didn't do. He just, that's how they covered for it. They ditched him. And then he had to be pardoned so he wouldn't spend a couple years in jail. You know, America's general.
Thank you, David.
That's because he doesn't give a shit about any of America's generals, like the ones that are actually serving honorably right now. Right. Or he does, or he thinks they're deep state military people.
General, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you. Good to see you again, General. I mean, we're not seeing you.
Always good to talk.
Great to see all of you, and it's a real honor to be on here and to have this conversation with Pastor David and everybody that listens to this today, or any time that they listen to it at their own leisure.
Yeah, Don't rush.
We're able to do these days with some of these podcasts. So.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the internet and these podcasts these days. It's not like radio, am I right?
It's a real privilege for me.
Bullshit. If you're not there live, you missed it. That's how we do things over here.
To be able to talk to you three.
Hi. I'll be another 20 minutes. You can go. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Nope, I don't think so. If I think of it, I will text you before you get back. Okay, love you. Bye.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Well, it's been about 9 years that we have prayed for you and your family. And
9 years? Mike Flynn's been that much of a fuck up for 9 years?
We've seen the journey that has taken place of...
Sorry, dude, I'm dozing off between words.
Darkness and the light, and what we have found out is this nation and the people in this nation have, not only do they care for this president, but they love a particular general that I wasn't in D.C., but I know that when he got up to speak and he spoke as now when I pray, the Lord used to refer to you as his general. And when I pray for you now, he just says, he's my statesman. And so we heard a state.
Wait, God has it. God used to call General Flynn his general. Now he calls him his statesman. I guess that's because he lost his rank, and I guess God would know legally that technically he's no longer a general in that regard. I don't know. Yeah.
Statesman in Washington, D.C., and I wanted to say this before turning over your love not only for this nation, but the Lord that we serve, Jesus Christ, the Bible, and I carry this Constitution with me all the time.
Okay. Have you thought about reading it?
The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, everything that has made America the eagle and a light to the rest of the world. And you have...
Let the eagle soar like he's never soared before. Yeah. Old school John Ashcroft kind of Christians.
Champion that. You have maintained your...
Let the eagle soar. Put salve on the eagle's soars. I'm sorry.
Honor. And this nation has fallen in love with a particular general and his family. So thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah. Man, I've been writing him letters. He won't return them. America swiped right on this general a long time ago.
Sir, for joining.
Yes, this is real, Deborah. This is and this is how, by the way, Mike Flynn and all these assholes in the Trump world are basically getting their message under the radar out to the lunatics. The next fomenting of a January 6th is all going to happen on these channels. Just letting you know.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much, Jim. And
it's nice to be here in the white room with white curtains in an undisclosed location in a hotel.
Floyd, it's great to see you. And Floyd, thank you for all your counsel as well over the years. And Pastor David, and all of your constituents, everybody that is part of your congregation. I would just say that to everybody, like I said, it's a real honor to be here. I would offer to this group, now to you three and to all the listeners,
a special coupon code for my QAnon merch.
That our nation is in a massive transition right now. It's historic. And it's not unlike other transitions that our country has faced.
Yeah, like when the nation went on keto for a little while. We'll have to ask Steve Ducey
about that. In our
past,
transitions after...
Yeah, Mike Flynn, I'm telling you.
Great wars that we have been in, great depressions we have been in, and great tragedies that our country...
Like the Trump administration.
...has gone through, to include assassinations of presidents and such, those types of...
Yeah, Trump losing an election and being a one-term asshole is equivalent to the Kennedy assassination. Get out of here, you whiny bitch.
Monumental and historic events that cause us to reflect on who we are as a country. And what
and this ain't one of them.
I would offer to this group and to all the listeners today that as we face what it is that we are about to endeavor.
Oh, God, spit it out.
Into these next few weeks and months and probably years.
Probably years.
Have to reflect.
Sorry. Can I cut to the chase, Mike Flynn? The March 4th thing isn't going to happen. Trump is no longer president. No matter how much the main pastor dude on here literally thinks that Trump is still president, there's not going to be a giant turning over of our economy, a giant turning over of our governmental processes. This is all a joke.
Reflect on what it is that we believe in. What do we as individuals believe in? In my case, I believe that we stand for, above all, the God-given freedom as individuals. Our Constitution is not based on collectivism. It's based on individualism, and it's based on individual.
Yeah, but we know that. But that doesn't mean as an individual you can just say, fuck the laws. That's what he's talking about. When he says individualism, he means that the laws only apply to certain people, and if you get high enough up, you get a kiss my ass card you carry with you.
Liberties are, as you highlighted there, Jim, when you raise the Constitution itself. Very few people even read the Constitution these days.
Yeah, including you guys.
Schools barely talk about it. We're lucky if we have a public school system. I'm not sure even private schools have everybody start the day with the Pledge of Allegiance, to this country, which is a way to culturalize the students at the earliest levels into something to believe in that's greater than even the education that they're going to get.
So it's something, you say the Pledge of Allegiance at school every day to indoctrinate you into the idea that there is something bigger than just yourself. What?
On that particular day. But our Bill of Rights, as it was written, as it was documented, and as it was argued over and bled for, that Bill of Rights and our basic Constitution is based on individual freedom.
Nice wipe.
The freedom to speak, the freedom to bear arms, the freedom to protest. Those are individual rights that we have.
Yeah, but you don't have a freedom to riot or loot. You don't have a freedom to have an unregulated firearm. You don't have a freedom to child porn. Again, we have limitations on that abridge all of these freedoms based on the safety of the public.
Yeah, those are not collective rights. Those aren't things that were given as a...
Yeah, they are. We the people, in order to form a more perfect... They're literally a collectivization of those ideals, meaning that we as a country decide that those are important. We're going to protect those things. We collectively protect those things. I mean, this is just like an anti-communist dog whistle bullshit. It just falls apart.
Those are things I, as a citizen of the United States, and
citation needed.
And as I said, those are God-given.
As an agent of the Turkish government and of Russia.
Freedoms. The one thing that nobody can...
They're not God-given. They aren't.
Take from an individual.
They're established by men for men. Mankind in the human sense, not males.
Is or her ability to think for themselves, right? That is a God-given freedom.
Which is why we're all here talking amongst each other, because we all agree.
Freedom that we have, whether we're chained up somewhere beyond against our will, or whether we are deciding to...
Our will? I'm sorry. What, are we going with these guys believe they are descendants of slaves?
Step into the path of a bullet to save the life of a fellow soldier or a fellow Marine, or whether we are stepping into the realm of now what we're witnessing is this sort of very political machinery that is happening in our country. And we have a lot of people in our country, millions and millions, tens of millions, that have woken up and now see that we cannot take for granted anything that we're given. We can't.
No. So what they're going to do is, because they can't let it be taken for granted, they're going to break off away from the Republican Party and form their own Turner Diaries party.
Take our freedoms for just as
granted
as they are. We just can't take them for granted for the kinds of things that we get up every day. We what I like to say, we breathe the fresh air of liberty in order for us to continue.
Yeah, that's exactly what these guys are all doing right now.
To breathe this fresh air of liberty, we have to be prepared to fight for that fresh air of liberty. We have to be prepared.
Yeah, so never be afraid to punch the air.
Prepared to what I say, go to the gate, so to speak. What I mean by that is,
you mean the gates of the Capitol and kill cops?
I mean by getting involved at every level. This conversation is a way to get involved. Pastor David's, the way he comes out and he talks about things, that's how he gets involved. That's how he serves his community. You all have served your communities in many, many ways over many.
Yeah, like most of the time they're on this set doing color commentary on Little League games. insisting that they get to rename the players if their names are too foreign.
Many years. One of my passions right now is to try to get out to America. And really start to talk to Americans at the grassroots level and get
paid for it.
People, get those 74 or 75 million people that stood in line to vote for Donald Trump. And you can no longer just stand in line and go vote. You're now going to have to get out of that line and you're going to have to participate. You're going to have to participate at the precinct.
Yeah, so that's a good idea. So Mike Flynn's going to try and get all 74 million voters who voted for Trump to run for office.
Precinct level.
Please do that.
You're going to have to participate at the county level. You're going to have to participate at the certainly at the state level, and to a degree.
Yeah, charge the courthouses and the state houses with long guns, right?
With the right talent sets, the right resources. Participate at the national level, and that's what I'm going.
Yeah, if you're a local loser like you guys, stay where you are. But if you've got, if you got Moxie Kid, maybe we can send you up to D.C.
I'm going to be asking America and Americans to do in the coming days, the coming weeks, and the coming months, because we are at the edge of a cliff here. And I always like...
Well, no. We, not as a country, we as in you guys. Mike Flynn, these assholes, they're all on a cliff. They're living on a cliff. They look at the world as some sort of giant cliff.
I'd like to take it back to, I've been saying the Apostles' Creed for so many years as a young person and as a Christian, and when you say the Apostles' Creed, it never occurred to me that after
to actually mean it,
Jesus Christ was crucified and he suffered, he died and he descended into hell, and then on the third day he rose again.
Kind of like Trump and the November 3rd loss,
right? So when he descended into hell, where did he go, and why did it take him 3 days to rise again, right? I mean,
it didn't take him. It's A, a metaphor, and B, endemic of the time span of humanity. Post-temporal and non-temporal beings don't deal with time the way they do. It's not about whether it took him 3 days in hell. It was our perception on Earth that made it 3 days. This is so stupid. You think there's time in hell? Eternity isn't even a temporal measure.
What was he doing?
Why do I know more about this than these assholes?
And I asked a priest that I know that is a theologian, and he gave me, and I'll mess up the history or the
no doubt,
the theological history about it, but essentially,
get to it though, because I think the guy on the end is going to keel over.
Christ at that time stood at the abyss. He stood in a place called the abyss.
Really? So basically, the book of Nietzsche was just removed from the New Testament?
According to some theological history.
Beanto's Flynn's son got a pass because he was talking. I don't know what happens next.
For 3 days. And while he was in that place that is referred to as the abyss.
3 days in our time, there is no time point. It is an instant of understanding that lasts for God.
He had to contemplate a whole range of things for the world, for all of us. And I have felt over my last 4 years that I was in that abyss with him.
Oh, I see. So you, for the last 4 years, well, Mike Flynn, you and I share that because during the Trump years, I think we all felt like we were in an abyss. That's what you'd really want from your president, is that he'd make you feel like, oh shit, we're in an abyss. By the way, the James Cameron movie, film 73, The Abyss is fantastic.
And without him and without the American people coming to our side, coming to my family and my side, and also knowing what the real truth...
The American people? Asshole, you got a pardon from the dude you helped commit a crime.
Was.
Jesus Christ. This is like a mob dude who finds Jesus in jail, and then after he breaks out, goes, yeah, I'm going to do some work in the community about this as cover for the other crimes he's going to go back to doing.
We find ourselves in that valley, right? That Psalm 23 valley, but we find ourselves in that abyss. And I actually didn't pay any attention to that prayer for probably, 50 years, 55 years of my life. And then all of a sudden I was reading it one day and I read that and I said, oh my God, why Why did he go for 3 days there, and where did he go, and what did it mean?
This is great. I feel like we're all getting a valuable lesson.
Well, America, to stretch a metaphor.
America?
Hi,
guys. By the way, I haven't done this the whole show. Patreon.com/HalSparks. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and a like. Benny Loco always reminds us, and I don't know if it went by and I missed it, so I'm just going to do that on their behalf. So like and subscribe. Pass the show around. If you want to support the show, there's the Venmo thing right there, which is a great way to do it. Or you can subscribe, become a member on Twitch, become a subscriber on Twitch, or a member on YouTube, stars on Facebook, that kind of stuff. Okay.
Sorts.
Sorry, back to where I was. I was supposed to do it 3 times a show because I'm on for so long, and I just always forget because I'm too busy having fun with you guys.
America is sort of in that abyss. And now we have to decide how we're going to get out of it.
We already did. America decided. Asshat. We decided to elect a guy like Joe Biden and do the hard work to get out of the abyss. The decision was made. That's what the voting is about. This is so.
And I do believe that there is a faith.
Nice, Rexmo.
And the 3 things that I always like to talk to, but there is a faith in God that we need. Our nation was founded on Judeo-Christian values and principles.
No, it wasn't. It was created by deists who believe that everyone should have their own belief system, and it shouldn't influence it. While it informs their morals, it shouldn't influence their behavior in the political sphere. And the reason these assholes say Judeo-Christian is so that they can pick and choose between New Testament and Old Testament randomly all they want. They can go, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth when they want to be all tough in a war, and then, love thy neighbor when they want to pretend to be peacetime Christians.
Principles, and we should not fear those values and principles. We should not fear who
we don't. You just don't enact them.
We are as Americans. We should not fear that this country was founded upon a constitution by a group of really brave, courageous patriots. And it actually goes back even 200 years prior to 1775, into the 1500s, the 1600s, where people were running because they were being persecuted because of their belief in something bigger than they were. So right now,
Bigfoot.
Our nation is facing this transition. And that transition...
Yes, away from Trumpism, back to normalcy.
Transition is either one of 2 things. Either we
continue on the path of having a normal government in life, or we descend into Trumpist oligarchy.
We dive back into being a individual rights constitutional republic, which means people are going to have to do more than just wake up. They have to and sit and talk about it at their dinner tables or on the block somewhere. They're going to have to now stand and do. People are going to have to do more now and get involved particularly at the local level, at the grassroots.
Yes, all Trump voters run for office.
Level.
And I don't mean some of you, all of them.
We also have to understand that if we don't do that, as one recent president said, the president that prior to President Trump said, and I will get most of this quote correctly, he basically,
I doubt it,
basically said, we are going to fundamentally change America. Yeah. And I think when he said that, everybody just sort of let it go over their heads like we normally do.
Yeah, because you don't actually view racism as a fundamental occurrence in your life. It doesn't occur to you. There's some fundamental blocks that exist. You get rid of those, everybody's an American.
And
everybody in the country, everybody who's a citizen, has the same rights and equity.
I would just tell you that I didn't. I paid very close attention to it, and I said, what does that mean? And I watched very closely. Now, at the time, for me, I was still in the military. I was still engaged in combat, actually, at that time, over in the Middle East and places like Iraq and Afghanistan. But as I progressed in my military career, and then as I did my own transition out of the military career and started to really focus on what did I want my life to be, and what did I want my life to get involved in?
Good God, this rambly bullshit. Hold on one second. We're going to jump ahead because I don't want to waste all this, spend all our goddamn time. I want these guys to actually ask him questions. This dude.
The abyss. I see a lot of people that worked hard for President Trump that they're down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're
what's the word? Losers.
A little bit depressed. They're in the personal abyss. And
maybe on a individual level, they could, I don't know, get their shit together and go back to being a human being.
It's kind of hard to summon courage when you're
faced with something that's scary. When you think you've lost, what other time do you need to summon courage? Sorry, does your courage only work when you're winning?
When you're defeated and when you're down.
That's exactly when courage is necessary. What the hell? When you don't have the privilege of easy courage.
And I guess I would just ask you as a military person.
Yeah. How can we kill some of these people?
After you've faced a loss, how do you come back from that? And
you don't. Sorry, Bart. You don't. It's just over. There's no way that it's just really. Courage only really works when you've already won the Super Bowl. Courage is the kind of thing you get at the after party, you know?
How do we encourage people to come back from this defeat?
Well, the first thing you do is you go to Home Depot and you get 4 sections of that fake brick. Follow me on this. Then you get an old looking flag and you hang it the wrong way.
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's a great analogy, particularly, I think, for the battlefield, sort of the battlefield of life. Here's what I would prefer. First of all, I don't accept defeat in this case. I am still heavily engaged in the legal battles, supporting Sidney Powell especially, and others.
Yeah.
That need help with skills and some of the networks that I have that I'm able to help out to bring to bear in some of these cases that are still pending. I mean, we still have one that was consolidated. There was 3 cases consolidated into one because that's what the Supreme Court asked for. And that's going to be heard here this month. And that's Ms. Sidney Powell's case. And there's also Mr. Lynn Wood's case that's going to be heard at the Supreme Court here in another day or two. So there's some things that are happening. If anybody...
There's the Lynn Wood's case being heard at the Supreme Court in a day or two. Honest to God, what is he selling these assholes?
He followed New York 22, District 22, with, I think her name was Claudia Tenney. She finally won after 3 canvassings or vote counts. And after the third one, she won all 3, by the way. After the third one, that's it. That was their rule. And come to find out, she wins another congressional district up in the state of New York, based on these machines. And the people that are now attacking her are attacking her because the machines fraudulently abused their client, right? Which person she was against. If you're following up in the state of New Hampshire, we have one area up in the state of New Hampshire now that has admitted to, before the election even started, every machine had 300 votes already marked in for Joe Biden. So I'm not one.
No, they didn't.
One to concede defeat. Others can concede. I think what we have to do is
what happened? Who dropped what? What was that?
Concede defeat. Others can concede. I think what we have to do.
Dude, don't drop a pan while we're.
We have to get to the truth. The funny thing is, I have learned again and again and again in my life that as the truth is, the truth will rise to the top. The truth will come out. In some cases, it may take a little bit longer, and it may take.
Yeah, it might take a while.
It may take people who are fighters, who are in there still hooking and jabbing, so to speak, to fight,
so to speak,
fight for the truth wherever it is. We are still fighting a major battle up in Michigan. We are helping a great lawyer up in Michigan. We still have some actions going on out in Arizona. So part of what I'm telling your listeners and the viewers and anybody that listens to this is that
what they mean is like local Trumpster politicians, like in city councils and the state reps, are filing these like nuisance lawsuits, or the dude in Arizona trying to get the AG to start a criminal investigation on his own because his dude lost.
You know, if you concede defeat, if you have this sense of defeatism, then
it's not defeatism. Sometimes you have to admit you actually lost. There is no shame in that. This is the embarrassing part. Defeatism is we will never win again, or our party's screwed, or we didn't get enough, like we lost the election and we never will again. That's defeatism. Admitting you actually were defeated is not a shameful act. Hanging on to it as if you won is fucking embarrassing.
You'll always have it, and you'll never actually, understand what it is that you're facing, or what you need to.
What are you facing? Is he Q signaling us with his eyebrows?
Do to step out of that, because in this war or this battle of life, it's never truly over, and so to take.
No, it actually. Life is sometimes truly over. Like for about 20 people in Texas right now.
Take it to.
Like for 500,000 Americans because of the pandemic that your president said, well, it's basically, you can't be defeatist. We got like 12 cases. It's nothing.
A field sort of analogy. The other thing that always escapes us is that the other side is also taking its licks. Okay? And
remind me to close my drapes.
They're taking its licks by us every time we discover new truth. Every time we discover new truth and we
so we haven't taken any licks from you in like 6 years?
Expose it. It's basically like a weapon system against them that we used against them.
Yeah, totally.
And it hurts them.
It's totally weaponized.
I believe, personally, what Mike Flynn believes is that they...
Really, he's really like third person. We're going to third person now.
The other side, so to speak, I have a tough time saying the Democratic side because I don't think that they're Democratic anymore. They're more socialist. So the socialist side...
We're Democrats, by the way. It is the Democratic Party. We're Democrats. We're not socialists. You're a dumbass. By the way, if what we believe in is socialism, then the existence of a standing military and your entire career as a government employee is socialism.
I don't think that they believe that this was going to still be ongoing like it is, nor
it isn't.
That people in this country were going to have this sentiment or this feeling that they have.
You mean still thinking that they won when they lost? That we didn't have any idea how many nutcases there were?
And so every time we expose the truth, every time we put another chink in the enemy's armor or in our opposing forces' armor, that hurts them and they lose strength.
Yeah, I've totally felt like I've lost strength since, I don't know, the 47 executive orders were signed and the implementation, like once they put the $1.9 trillion rescue plan on the table and we're like, we're going to get this passed, even if we have to do it through reconciliation, I was like, ooh.
And even though we might feel defeated on our side, if there's one thing that I learned as a leader is that the
Wait a minute. When did you become a leader? When did this? Oh, and on this show, right?
other side is also weakened. And they're weakened because their strength does not reside in the truth. Their strength resides in deception and resides in the lies that have been spewed or the censorship that has been taken by the big tech titans of this country.
Yeah. Oh, the big tech titans. You mean like
many of the lies? I mean,
like the web companies where that website is posted, or like Twitter, where this dude still has a Twitter account. You'll see right here.
Anybody
or
that witnessed even a little bit of the impeachment process the other day.
yeah, the crazy stuff that was happening on Instagram that this guy still has.
All of those Democrats.
Yeah, the slight echo is from their side, by the way.
That stood as the House. Or
oh, look, a YouTube.
The Senate went through its impeachment proceeding. Every one of those individuals who are lawyers.
Oh, look at that. He's got his parlor up there as well.
By the way, they should all be disbarred for standing in front of not only the Senate, but the American people and the world, basically lying through their teeth.
Right.
And
they weren't. Your guys were. But there's this Rumble. There's this Gab. Which part of big tech is attacking this dude?
Enough of the defense attorneys for Trump, they were able to bring out those lies. So a falsehood is multiplied by 10 times in terms of a weakness.
Jesus Christ. I don't know why this guy lost his job. Christ almighty. Yeah, lying. Yes, they showed video. This is ridiculous. Like, seriously, guys. I love that he's like bitching about tech. I'm going to jump ahead because I don't need this shit. But God damn it. He's just... They just brought him like okay. So did they ask him something? Here's a
something. Right. And that's what the American people need to do. They need to follow what it is that was created by God and then formed by some very brave Americans at the beginning of this country and founded on top of a...
Oh my God. This is like an indie comics panel at Comic-Con that was for like a self-published comic where they're like, you know, comic books were invented. I mean, they're basically just pictures folded in unfolded paper. That's the root of it all anyways. God damn, this is boring. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to show you something gross, and then we're going to finish out. Yep, see? Told you it was going to be gross.
Do you have time for a funny story?
Oh, boy, do we.
Yeah, we got about a minute.
I get this one done in a minute. So everyone.
This is a Rush Limbaugh story.
Once in a while, I was always his partner. So we'd always
Rush Limbaugh
ride together. He always wanted me to drive because he wanted to be smoking cigars. So
yeah, you can't smoke cigars and drive a golf cart.
One day we're driving and these paparazzi are driving us crazy. They're taking pictures. And he said,
paparazzi.
Giuliani, what did you do now? They're all following you around. You know how I hate pictures taken. I know you're famous, but damn, can't you tell them to stay away?
Yeah, so I think these are my favorite Rudy Giuliani humble brags.
Like growling, and I say, just come up to the green with me. Come on. So on the green is Michelle Williams. She's getting ready to putt. Now,
oh God.
Michelle Williams, gorgeous. She's 6 feet, and she has a strange putting stance.
Wait for it.
She bends all the way over, and her
look at Steve Bannon.
Panties show, and the press was.
Look at he's shaking his head, and Steve is like, "Where are you going with this?"
Going crazy. They were following her all around because they were trying to take pictures of her panties.
Don't say panties, dude. Say underwear. Jesus Christ. It's gross. Am I wrong on this? If a dude is not talking about someone he is personally intimate with, and that is her word of choice, saying panties about a woman's underwear is fucking gross. It's gross. Just say underwear. You can see her underwear. And they were trying to take pictures of her because you can see her underwear. Honest to God. Ugh.
I said, Roger, it's not me. It's not you. It's her panties. Right? Is that okay to tell that joke? I'm not sure.
It's not a joke. It's a story. And did you just call that asshole? Wait a minute. This is a story of him hanging out with Rush Limbaugh.
Not you. It's her panties. Right.
Hold on. I got to back up a little bit because listen.
Pictures of her panties. I said, Roger.
Who the fuck's Roger? Who's Roger? This is a story of him hanging out with Rush Limbaugh because Rush Limbaugh just died. Seriously. He said Roger. He called him Roger. You know why he said Roger? You know why he said Roger? Because this is not a Rush Limbaugh story. He wanted to tell this anecdote. It was Roger Ailes. Guarantee it. Roger Ailes doesn't like his picture taken. Rush Limbaugh doesn't give a shit.
It's not me. It's not you. It's her panties. Right? Is that okay to tell that joke? I'm not sure.
We already told it, so I don't know.
Constitution and the Bill of
Also, not a fucking joke. It's not a joke. It's an anecdote. And it's gross. And how many times do you have to say friggin' panties? Look, you can be sex positive without being a creep. Well, you can. I can. Rudy clearly can't. Okay, hold on one second. I want to show you one last thing, and then we'll get out of here because I've held you guys long enough, and I appreciate you guys hanging around, and it's really lovely just being with you guys. And I will say again that things are managing to work. Fingers crossed it will keep that way. I'm going to continue tonight I'm going to work on our countdown and all that kind of stuff. And fingers crossed it will actually function. But let's see. Hold on. There's... Man, the number of let's see, videos. See if I get this. Let's do this real quick, just so we can. It's pretty sweet. Nice moment. Hold on. Let me back this up.
It looks like it worked because that's the reaction of a live picture that we're getting from the Jet Propulsion Lab. So I assume the enthusiasm, the celebration confirms that it has landed on Mars successfully. Emily.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is me just learning that it's successful too. That's really exciting. That's
you and everyone else.
These things are so hard to do. And so when they happen, then they work. It's like a miracle. It's so beautiful.
By the way, Summer and I both teared up when this worked. Like, that's how nerdy and pro NASA we are.
It looks like it worked because that's the reaction of
successful too. That's really exciting. That's
you and everyone else.
These things are so hard to do. And so when they happen, then they work. It's like a miracle. It's so beautiful.
It looks like it worked.
So cool. Just all the stuff that, as it's coming. Here we go. That's them all jumping. There he goes again. This is all the footage they have because they get the signal that it worked. And this dude's just standing up there about to find out. He wants to get whether they're sad or happy. That's so friggin' awesome. And then they go through all the folks. Let's see. And we don't have video of it actually happening. So this is just the reaction part of it. Like the amount of Johnny 5 is alive. I think this one, let's see if this one, no, okay, hold on. I don't know what that, here, yeah. So this is the breakdown of how it worked, which is pretty sweet, I have to say. Where they...
The most amazing part of my job is that I get to touch parts of the hardware that will go to Mars.
Pretty sweet. So...
When the Perseverance rover lands and conducts its science, the big thing that I hope it accomplishes is to determine if life ever existed on Mars. It is our job to make sure that when we send these spacecraft out, that it doesn't contaminate the native environment that we're trying to explore. So when we explore moons and planets and other bodies in the solar system, we want to make sure that we don't send microbes from Earth that may contaminate that environment and affect their ability to find biosignatures on the surface and allow us to bring the sample back so that we can definitively find ancient microbial life on Mars. The spacecraft has to be extremely clean. The limit for the entire spacecraft, that includes the rover, the heat shield, the descent stage, the back shelf, has to be less than 500,000 what we call bacterial endospores or spores. Just to give you an idea, a teaspoon of seawater has 10 times more bacteria than that entire spacecraft has. Spores can stay in a dormant state for millions of years until another habitable or a favorable environment comes along.
Which, by the way,
so that's why we target those types
that's
of
what concerns me about Russia's exploration into the Arctic ice.
The vacuum of space, the huge temperature fluctuations, the UV radiation.
Night, Lauren Epsom.
Humans are
Thank
the
you.
dirtiest thing in that clean room. We have all kinds of microorganisms in our body and on our skin.
Yes, we
and
know,
so
we're
we
disgusting.
have to make sure that from head to toe, including our eyes, that it's protected from the spacecraft, especially our most critical parts. So that's why we have gloves on our hands in the clean room. We have full bunny suits, which is a head-to-toe covering of a very clean material that allows
I don't find this very
us
amusing,
to
Guerrero.
stay separate. It's a barrier between humans and the spacecraft. We also have the spacecraft going through bakeouts. They go in high temperature chambers, 350 degrees Celsius, and we kill a lot of the microorganisms. Our most critical parts that touch the Martian soil are extraordinarily clean. The most difficult part of my job is worrying whether or not I was paranoid enough. Did I miss something? How about if this fails? How about if that fails? It's hard enough to build spacecraft, but on top of that, as we were approaching launch, the COVID-19 pandemic was surging in parallel. As I step outside, it looks closer and closer to what I see in the laboratory. Everyone's wearing face masks, they're social distancing, and making sure that they don't spread contaminants from person to person. So it's my job, but in the real world. But what was most worrying was that off the clock, you might catch COVID, and there's now a vector to wipe out an entire team. That could completely derail the mission and throw us off of our scheduled goal. And that was a major concern as we were marching to launch. That
Yes, we've lived all through that. We know. I'm just, I wanted to touch on that a little bit. There's another angle of them figuring it out. Heat shield separation.
Perseverance now has radar lock on the ground. Current velocity is about 100 meters per second, 6.6 kilometers above the surface of Mars. Perseverance is continuing to descend on the parachute. We are coming up on the initialization of terrain relative navigation and subsequently the priming of the landing engines. Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers. We have confirmation that the lander vision system has produced a valid solution and part of terrain relative navigation. We have priming of the landing engines.
They're like, yeah, great, but it did it. Don't turn upside down.
Current
Please
velocity is 83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have confirmation that the back shell has separated. We are currently performing the divert maneuver. Current velocity is about 75 meters per second at an altitude of about a kilometer off the surface of Mars.
TRN Safety Bravo.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars.
Ooh, that's quick. Now it's slow and way down.
We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct to Earth tones.
Sky crane maneuver has started, about 20 meters off the surface.
So cool.
We're getting signals from MRO.
UHF is good. Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars.
That's so awesome.
Ready to begin seeking the signs of past life.
That is so sweet and such a great way to finish
up. The stage has flown away to a safe distance. Perseverance is continuing to transmit direct through Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to Earth.
Other groups getting.
Yay! So success.
So awesome, and what a great way to close out today's show. Remember a couple of days ago, there was one of these religious nutcases that we drop in on, and they were talking about how there was a prophesied cleansing snow. And in the cleansing snow, they never noticed that Rush Limbaugh passed, Trump lost the election, Trump's plaza in Atlantic City was flattened, Biden got inaugurated, is basically erasing a lot of what Trump did in the same way that Trump used EOs to get rid of the executive orders of the Obama administration. And then they just, we've just kind of moved into, and by the way, and the cleansing snow that these guys were talking about seemed to have hit Texas. And what did this cleansing snow do beyond all the other things I mentioned? Got rid of Ted Cruz as a potential presidential candidate. Put the nail in that coffin. That's kind of amazing. So, yes, God is very angry with Texas. It must be being late to the whole gay marriage thing. And, he's very upset about that. I make all these gay people, you can't let them stay together. Especially when they want to join together in marriage, which is a religious gathering between believers. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, I just think that's fascinating and beautiful, and I wanted to share that last little piece with you. And I will see you guys tomorrow at the regular time, at our 3 o'clock time, and then the radio show this weekend. I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. Well, we always had Dinesh. And then, of course, I'm sure there's going to be an interview, and Ted Cruz has his little conversation thing. I'm certain he's going to try to use that to bail himself out, and I am waiting with bated breath to take that thing apart. So, just understand that that's where this is going. I want you guys to have a fantastic night. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the super chats and the bits and all that stuff. I now have to set up a thing where I can see if there's a hype train because I can't actually see it on my end. But I will say that quality-wise, as far as just the image itself running, we're doing okay. I think it's all working. So fingers crossed, we will continue at some point to just kind of improve on the situation that we're in. But quality-wise, overall, I think we're it seems to be holding up. So thank you guys for the support, and hopefully the other computer will be back online and we'll be able to have all of our regular bells and whistles plus the additional stuff that I've done for the show and all that kind of stuff. And thank you guys. Thanks so much. Thanks for having fun with me. Thanks for hanging out. It's always a joy. I look forward to this every day. I gotta be completely honest. It's become a beautiful thing. And again, I want to thank the trolls, homophobes, and especially the sexist ones today who seem to think that men can't have long hair. That's fun. That's good. And I hope you enjoy your next musical concert experience. And I hope everyone there has an approved haircut that looks like something you would see at a Blockbuster before it shut down. So there you go. Thank you, Sarah. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Okay, bye.
Would you classify that as a launch problem or a design problem? Something strange happened to me this morning. Was it a dream where you see yourself standing in sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at you? No. Why am I the only person that has that dream?
soon we will leave this lame planet and fly through outer space with cool aliens who like us. It is going to be awesome! Zoltan!
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Take off, eh?
I am your father, Luke. Give in to the dark side of the Force, you nap.
Hey, I guess they're right. Senior citizens, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose.
It's not Irish. It's not English.
Oh, yeah. Fair, what is my kindness with horses, you know?
It's just piking.
You lied to me!
I'll use small words that you'll be sure to understand, you warthog-faced buffoon.
Attention, you are now entering the debarkation area. No talking, no smoking.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
Shop smart, shop S-smart.
I had a beat off.
They're not allowed to be offensive, unfortunately.
I had a beat off.
The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.